Live? Live. All right. And we're live. Welcome into Seattle Sports Hell. I guess as far as the Kraken are concerned, it's been a pretty good day. The Kraken extend Jared McCann to a 5-year, $5 million per contract. Breakdown's a little bit different. It'll be $4 million next year, then $6 million that year after that, or no, $5 million next year, $6 million the year after that, and then anyway, right around $5 million per year for the next 5 years for Jared McCann. So, the Kraken decided to sign their best player instead of trading him. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case for all the Seattle teams, but we're here for hockey until someone asks otherwise. And considering doing a video reacting to that whole Seahawks situation. Channel's generally been just hockey, but I've talked about wanting to do some other non-hockey stuff here and there, and well, I'll be honest, I don't really want to talk too much about what happened today with the Seahawks, but yeah, it might happen at some point. Anyway, we're about 15 minutes or so away from puck drop. Kraken in Toronto taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs for the first time in Toronto. There it is. Thoughts on the Russ trade? Personally, in pure pain. Yeah, I think pain is probably about as. I think pain is basically sums it up. As far as thoughts, I've seen a lot of people that are neutral in it, like fans of teams that aren't the Seahawks or Kraken, or not Kraken, Seahawks or Broncos, or even one of their rivals, that think the Seahawks got a pretty good deal. The Broncos may have overpaid in the trade, which, I mean, objectively might be true from, like, if you're completely neutral on it. But yeah, as a Seattle fan, there's no way to look at this, I think, in a positive light. Like, I mean, most of you that watch my videos have known that, I mean, like, I've done a video for every Kraken game this season, in a season that has very much not gone the Kraken way. So I try to be as optimistic as I can be about Seattle sports in general, and I don't know, it just helps out. I feel like it's more fun to be optimistic about the outlook of the future of a team than, just assuming doom and gloom. But I don't see a bright side to this Russell Wilson trade. There really isn't one, to be honest. Like, he's a future Hall of Fame quarterback, something the Seahawks have never seen before. Obviously, easily the best quarterback the Seahawks have ever had, and probably will ever have. Let's just be honest about that. The Seahawks are never getting a quarterback better than Russell Wilson. It's pain to say the least. Pain to say the least. They get, what was it? They got back 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, a 5th-round pick, Noah Fant, who's a very good tight end, and a defensive lineman. I can't remember. Honestly, like, I can't even look at it without wanting to throw up. Both the players the Kraken got back. Oh, they also got back Drew Lock, who's not good, but both of the non-Drew Lock players the Seahawks got back are very good players. The problem is you don't have a quarterback anymore, so it doesn't really matter. So, yeah, you can say what you want about, like, yay, the Seahawks have picks now again, and they can use 2 firsts and 2 seconds to get some good value. And guys, they're not paying $35 million a year or $40 million a year. But the Seahawks haven't drafted well in the first or second round since Russell was drafted in the 3rd round. They took Bobby Wagner in the 2nd round that year, and they took Bruce Irvin in the 1st round. The year before that, or maybe 2 years before that, they took Earl Thomas in the 1st round, but they haven't drafted well in pretty much a decade in the first 2 rounds, outside of DK Metcalf in the 2nd round. But that was kind of like honestly, that was a surprise, because it was like, oh, look at this guy that's incredibly talented and physically gifted that's dropped all the way to the 2nd round. There's no way the Seahawks are actually going to take him, because that would be the smart thing to do. And then they actually did. So that was the one pleasant surprise of the last decade. So I don't look at those 4 top round picks that the Seahawks got and feel very optimistic about what that's going to turn into, to be perfectly honest. So I don't know. Yeah, I guess they're in full tank mode now. Like, that They've got their best quarterback right now is probably Geno Smith. I mean, Drew Lock, Geno Smith, take your pick. And really, the only way this could get worse is if the Seahawks go after, if they go after Cousins or forbid Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, if they go after Jimmy G, then yeah, you might as well just slap that 0-17 on the might as well just slap the 0-17 on the schedule for next year. Just forfeit the season. Seahawks fans don't need to go through the pain. We can just stick to our summer off with no baseball based on the way that's going, and then Kraken when they start up in October. No reason to even think about football anymore. Seahawks trade Russ, Mariners lockout, Kraken, the city is ours. The city and maybe a first overall pick because they are in a bit of a tailspin again, and the two teams behind them in the Coyotes and Habs are both winning games fairly regularly. So, yeah, the city is theirs to have everyone look over and be like, oh, that's not going well either, is it? Great. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the city... yeah, I don't know. Can Tanev play QB? Not without an ACL. we need that ACL to heal up for Kraken season. The Seahawks season isn't going anywhere. The Seahawks season is already done. It's already done months before it even started. The only way the Seahawks season isn't done is if somehow the Aaron Rodgers news of him staying in Green Bay isn't true and he came to Seattle, which, man, that would be hilarious. After all the crap he's talked about Seattle with the rivalry that he's had with the Seahawks really since Russell started here, that'd be pretty funny, but it's not going to happen. So let's see. Kraken get this W? Let's hope so. Yeah, I mean, they can't get much worse. So worst case scenario, the Kraken lose to the Leafs and get blown out like they did last time, and it's kind of like, well, I mean, we probably could have seen that coming. Best case, the Kraken at least distract us from the pain for one night. Of course, then we would always have that, the first win the Kraken ever get in Canada and against the Leafs comes on the day that Russell gets traded. So, I don't know. Obviously, we're still hoping for a Kraken win, but the bright side, a Kraken loss just means they're that much closer to Shane Wright, which means a lot more Kraken wins in the future, just not this season. I'm in pain, but I'm looking at the bright side. Locke is a young prospect and have the 9th pick in the draft. Now we're in talks for Deshaun Watson, but I hope they don't get Deshaun Watson. I don't want the Seahawks dragging in that whole PR nightmare of Deshaun Watson. Obviously very talented, but yeah, the stuff going on around him legally is, yeah, I don't think you want that in Seattle. I feel like, I don't know, the trade just doesn't make any sense. I feel like there's no way you trade Russell and then think, oh yeah, let's go find another QB and start to try to compete, right? It's not going to happen. You trade Russell because you want to tank. That's basically it. Yeah, and Drew Lock being a young prospect, I mean, I guess you could hope that he suddenly has a magical turnaround, but the Seahawks still don't have an offensive line, which the Bengals went to the Super Bowl without an offensive line, so I don't know. Yeah, Seahawks still don't have an offensive line. Drew Lock has been bad the entire time pretty much he's been in Denver, so let's just say I'm not holding my breath that Drew Lock is even going to be a starter for the Seahawks, although at this point they might not have another option, so we'll see. I don't really want to talk about the Seahawks for a year or two. Yeah, I'm kind of with you there, let's be honest. I can assume they're in full rebuild, dump salary, acquire picks. Yeah, they're full rebuild. You don't have a QB, you might as well be rebuilding. Kaepernick coming to Seattle, mark it down. That'd be pretty funny. I mean, he hasn't played football in what, like 5 years now, so I'm not sure he would be any better than anything else they have, but we have a chance at Malik Willis. I don't know. Maybe, I guess, like ninth overall pick. So the Kraken actually drafted the first Kraken. I'm gonna get this mixed up. Kraken on the mind because they're supposed to be playing here in 4 minutes. Um, but yeah, Seahawks have at least a pick in the first round now, so they'll find a way to screw that up, I'm sure, as they usually do. Winning games when you're on pace for the first overall pick is the worst. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like I've said it before. I said it in one of the R&Rs, but I still want the Kraken to win every game while I'm watching the game. Like even when the Seahawks were bad, or even when the Mariners were bad, like I don't. I've never cheered for one of my teams to lose. Like there was the in 2010 when the Seahawks, the difference between that last game against the Rams was winning the division, going to the playoffs, and tanking your first round pick, or losing, being a 6-10 team and having like a top 10 pick. I was still cheering for the Seahawks to win the division and go to the playoffs because yeah, I'm always cheering for my teams to win in the moment. Obviously, there is the bright side that when they do lose, they do get that much closer to the first overall pick. Which, yeah, if Shane Wright is the player that he's hyped to be, then that the Kraken could be very very good in a very short time because I feel like they're right there. They just don't have the finish scoring wise, especially when they decide not to put Donato in the lineup. But they don't have the finish scoring wise, and Matty Beniers hopefully brings some of that, and Shane Wright certainly would. So, let's see here. Y'all too negative. Locke had no weapons. Now he has Tyler and DK for at least a year. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I guess maybe that's part of why they trade Russell when they can, is they're trying to save. They're trying to make space for signing DK to whatever monstrous contract he's going to get from whoever he plays for next. Um, yeah, I'll say this: I've never there's no the only team that I've seen in the last like 20 plus years that's made it work without a quarterback, regardless of how many weapons they have, was Baltimore in what was that 2000. I mean, you can say what you want about Eli Manning and winning 2 Super Bowls, but he played lights out in the playoffs every time. He was may not have been a Hall of Fame quarterback in the regular season, but he was certainly a Hall of Fame quarterback when he made the playoffs. Same really for Joe Flacco, which that's how Ravens win in what 2012 or 2013, I guess, but yeah, I don't. There hasn't really been a team that's won without a quarterback since the Ravens in 2000. So, yeah, I guess we'll see. There's anything's possible, but yeah, things don't get better with Drew Lock. They definitely don't get better. You're right. We just need another coach for the Kraken. You know, especially sitting Donato the last 2 games, and if he's still not in the lineup tonight, I'm starting to come around on it. Honestly, like I try to be as realistic as I can with it, and I still think that it's hard to tell how much of an impact Hackstall, or how much or where the impact Hackstall has had on the Kraken is, because of it being an expansion team and all of the COVID and injuries that they have just never really let them gel in any kind of way together. So, I don't know. It's hard to tell exactly how much impact Hackstall has had, but when you don't start one of your top goal scorers 2 nights in a row on a back-to-back when your team isn't scoring goals, either you're actively trying to help the team tank, or you're just doing a terrible job of being a coach and making a lineup. So, I mean, Yeah, I don't know. Well, let's just hope they're all cheery on the Kraken Root Sports broadcast, excited about the McCann contract. So as long as we just stick to that and we just ignore what's going on in the other sports teams in the city, which Forsland will probably mention it at some point. I feel like that's not the kind of thing John Forsland is just going to let go. Uh, all right, 1 second here. Trying to make sure I have all the TV working and stuff. All right. Well, I mean, what do you guys think? Where are we at? How about let's talk about some trade deadline. I'm trying to get together a video hopefully here in the next couple of days, sometime this week, about what the Kraken outlook on the trade deadline is. A little painful to talk about trading players, Seattle and trading players right now, but yeah, we'll see what happens in the trade deadline. The Kraken might be sounds like pretty likely Gio's gone before the end of the month in the next couple weeks here, which make sure the sound isn't coming through too much. Don't want to get copyright striked here. I wonder if it's a coincidence. What do you guys think? Coincidence that the Kraken signed McCann on the day that they played the team he was selected from on the expansion draft, or is that a sly little timing there from Ron Francis? I don't know. Obviously, like, McCann never played for the Leafs, so it's not a super sore subject for them or anything. Although I will say, I know there's a lot of Leaf fans that would rather have McCann right now than Justin Hall. But this trade hurt me at my core. Wilson is an underdog athlete that I rooted for while I was growing up. Just shows there's no loyalty in sports. There's no loyalty in the Seahawks front office, I'll tell you that much. Which we've known that for a long time. There's no loyalty in that front office. We know, I mean, to some extent, it's better, like, there are definitely times where it's better to have that more cutthroat mentality that John Schneider has of, it doesn't matter who a player is or what they've done. If you can get value you think you can out of them, then trade them. But when it comes to a franchise future Hall of Famer quarterback, that's kind of the place that you draw that line. But apparently not. Let's go Broncos. This evens things out from Super Bowl 48. You know what? I'll still take. I'll take it. I would take that trade, I'll take the way things are now, winning Super Bowl 48 and going to another Super Bowl, even if it means the pain that we're experiencing right now, over none of it happening. That having been said, if we're trading what the Seahawks have done since if we're trading what the Seahawks have done in the Russell Wilson era with what the Broncos have done and now getting Wilson, I think I'd rather be the Broncos, because you still won a Super Bowl with Peyton Manning, and now you end up and sure, you've had a few years where it's sucked ever since Peyton retired, but now you're getting Russell. So I mean, I'd rather be the team that won a Super Bowl and is now getting the Hall of Fame quarterback, rather than the team that won one Super Bowl, lost another, and then traded away the Hall of Fame quarterback. So I don't know. I don't hate it. For whatever reason, like, I hated the Broncos as a kid because they were in the Seahawks division in the old AFC West when the Seahawks were in the AFC West. But I still hate the Chiefs and I still hate the Raiders. For whatever reason, the Broncos I don't really dislike anymore. Actually, the Broncos for a while were my favorite AFC team, and honestly, now with Russell, they might be my favorite AFC team again. I've kind of like been on the Bills bandwagon for a couple years, but as far as the AFC is concerned, but you know what, I think I'm kind of think I'm coming around back on the Broncos. Just it'd be a little painful to see Russell win a Super Bowl somewhere else, especially if he does it in the first year. Um, I don't know. I guess we'd have to talk to Patriots fans about how that feels to watch your franchise quarterback go and win a Super Bowl in his first year in a new city. Well, Hunter, if you like underdogs, the Seahawks are real. Yep, that's true. Yeah, yeah. At least we're not in the mediocrity zone anymore. We're finally committed to a rebuild. That's true. I mean, I wouldn't say that the Seahawks were really in the mediocrity zone with Russell. Obviously, this last year, kind of with his injury, that they were, but they were still. I mean, they were still a perennial playoff team, which is not, you know, they won a division 2 years ago. I don't know. I'm not saying they were a great team or a Super Bowl contender over the last couple of years, but they were. I wouldn't say they were mediocre necessarily. Plus, again, we've talked about how they don't really draft well in the first round anyway. So, what does it matter if your first round draft pick is a low one? Scott, what's the number one thing you're looking to see the Kraken improve in the offseason? Defense, scoring, goaltending. Goaltending, I don't think is going to change. I would imagine they stay with Grubauer and Drieger. There's not much value. They're not going to get good value out of them trying to trade them. And I think you're best off seeing what you have for one more year there, with them having a full season behind the same system, hopefully, and a more cohesive system in front of them. I mean, if you go one more year with Grubauer and Drieger, it can't get any worse, really. So, oh, that's getting kind of loud. Um, I would say scoring is probably what I want to see the Kraken improve on most. Which, the way things are going right now, they could very well get a very very good scorer in the entry draft coming up here with a potential number one pick and certainly a top three pick is what it looks like. And then also getting Matty Beniers. So you'll get a couple guys there. It sounds like Ron Francis said he wants to add in the offseason via free agency, which would certainly help their defense. We'll see what they trade away. We'll see who ends up getting traded here at the trade deadline. Got an itch on my nose. Sorry about that. Yeah, we'll see what they trade away at the trade deadline. If they end up moving a few defensemen, then they probably do have to figure out how to add on the blue line. Especially like if they trade both Geo and Susie, then or Geo and Larson, then they would certainly have to figure out how to add on the blue line, especially veterans if they traded both of those guys. But I think scoring's the number one thing, especially like a finisher, someone that can put the puck in the net. They have all sorts of guys that are guys looking for assists, guys looking to pass the puck. You see it all the time. Whenever they get a breakaway, the thought is very, very rarely shoot the puck. You can tell that any guy on a breakaway is immediately looking to try to pass first, even when he's the one with a breakaway. So that's something the Kraken need to figure out. Really, the only guy that seems to be wholeheartedly shoot first is Ryan Donato. And while that's great, he's been very good for the Kraken compared to other years. It's not, Ryan Donato can't be your leading finisher, if you know what I mean, your leading shooter. I hated the Seahawks after that Super Bowl, but my anger has diluted ever since the obnoxious guys Richard Sherman moved on. Yeah, I mean, fair enough, I guess, if you're a fan of the Broncos. What I wouldn't give to watch those like 3 years of Seahawks teams over again, 4 years of Seahawks teams with the Legion of Boom defense and a young Russell Wilson at quarterback. Oh, we didn't know how. I mean, I think we did know how good we had it, but it was Yeah, it seems like an era wasted only getting one. I mean, getting one Super Bowl is, there's definitely fan bases that would kill to have a Super Bowl appearance, much less a Super Bowl win. But it seems like an era wasted with Russell Wilson at quarterback and the Legion of Boom only getting one Lombardi. I saw Russell. I was at that game too. Russell's last game as the Seahawk quarterback in Seattle. Yep. Didn't know it at the time, but that was the last game of the last home game. Or unless you mean in Arizona, in which case, yeah, that was last game flat out. Oh, they're honoring Wayne Simmons in his 1,000 games in the NHL, just like Gio. I bet they'll do something like this for Gio in the next home game, assuming Gio's still on the team. Watch that be the last game Gio plays for the Kraken. Is they like bring him out? It's the 16th, so a week from Wednesday. Kraken in Seattle. They honor Gio, and then like the next day he's traded in Arizona. Okay, so yeah, you saw the last game. That's yeah. I don't know when the Broncos come to Seattle next, but there will be a lot of Seahawk fans cheering on the Broncos at that point. Here we go. Puck drop coming here just around the corner. Game starting a little bit late because of the pre-game ceremonies honoring Wayne Simmons for the Leafs. 1,000 games in his career. A lot of those with the Flyers, but last few here with the Leafs. Some Kings in there as well. I think who else did he play for? Play for Nashville? I think he played for Nashville. Broncos are in Seattle this next season. This year, oh boy. I didn't realize that. I haven't looked at the schedule because I've been so focused on crack and stuff. Well, yeah, that's going to be quite. That game's going to be on prime time. That'll be a Monday nighter, a Sunday nighter. That Broncos will come in here and just stomp the Seahawks. Russell will throw for like 6 touchdowns or something stupid. Drew Lock as Seahawks quarterback will throw 4 interceptions. Sorry about the caps lock. All good. Don't worry about it. Score prediction? Well, as always, I'm cheering for the Kraken to win. So hopefully the Kraken. It would be fun if the Kraken win like 4-3. Leafs take like Leafs take a 3-1 lead into like. How about Leafs take a 3-1 lead into the third, and then the Kraken score 3 goals to end up winning it, 4-3. That's what I would love to see. What I expect is probably like 4-2 Leafs is probably what I expect. 4-2, 5-3, something like that. Dude, look at this guy carrying a rolled up mat in tennis shoes off the ice. I would not want to be carrying something heavy off a sheet of ice wearing tennis shoes. Donato's a scratch again. There's got to be something wrong with him we don't know about, right? There's got to be something wrong with him. I'm sorry, but you can't. If there's nothing wrong with him and they've scratched him 3 nights in a row, then yeah, I don't know. Then I'm definitely starting to come around on the it's time to get a new head coach type of bandwagon. You never know. Seattle could beat Denver. Emotions always weird and big returns. Yeah, I mean Russell got traded, so he's not like it's not like he requested to go there, so he might be eager to show that this is why you shouldn't have traded me kind of thing. Not that the Seahawks traded him with the thought that they're going to be better because of it, but hopefully like it would be fun. It would be kind of fun to see like Bobby get a sack on Russell though. Kraken got the puck here early. Hasn't been a whole lot going on. A lot of neutral zone play. Eberle behind the net. Out for McCann, the newly signed man. Oh, out to McCann. Good defensive stick there by whoever that was. All right, there's Gio behind the net. That's what we got going on here. Go Gio. Not Gio, sorry, Alexiak. Jesus. My head's all over the place today. I think for obvious reasons. But yeah, I got the Alexiak away jersey during the that sale they had at the Nashville game. The was that like fans night or whatever they wanted to call it, 32 night. Kraken Day. Kraken Day is what they called it. It's the first ever Kraken Day, yearly thing. Of course, they'll like not always going to be playing on March 2nd, but all right. Early save there by Grubauer. I think we're trying to increase players' trade value before the trade deadline. That's why they're scratching Donato and Fleury. Why does Hackstall hate Fleury? Fleury's one I was kind of expecting them to trade, but yeah, I mean, if they're trying to increase players' value by giving guys like who, like, I don't know, still scratching Donato doesn't make sense. If he's a fully healthy scratch, it doesn't make sense. Fleury can make sense because, I mean, if you're not looking to trade Fleury, then yeah, you want to try to get guys like Susi or Lauzon. I don't think they're looking to trade Lauzon, but you want to get guys like Susi out there to give him more looks. But like, they're not going to trade Cheyenne for anything, and I'd rather have Donato in there than Cheyenne, so I don't know. I'd rather have Donato in there than basically anybody on the fourth line, to be honest. I like Donskoy, but let's like, oh, oh, penalty? What's going on? Tripping? Yep, Donskoy for tripping. So Leafs to the power play. That'll not be good. Yeah, no, I mean the Kraken are so deep on defense that if they're not trying to trade Fleury, and they are trying to trade a guy like Susi or something like that, then it makes sense to maybe give those guys a little bit more look. But on the forward end, yeah, I mean if you're not, there's no reason to keep Donato out. I don't think they're looking to trade Donato, but there's no reason to keep him out of the lineup. You're not trying to, like, what are you going to get back for Shane? You're not going to get anything more back from him just because you played him a couple extra games. And I don't think they're going to, like, I don't think anybody that's going to the playoffs is really looking to get a guy like Cheyenne for their forward group anyway. I mean, no offense to Cheyenne. He's played better over the last couple weeks, but and there it is. Austin Matthews scores on the power play. Kraken penalty kill. Now, in their last 3 games, or I guess 2 games and half a period now, are 1 for 6. Yeah, 1 for 6. Right through the 5-hole. Yeah, that's... Grubauer had a chance to get over there to Yeah, it's just not great positioning on Grubauer there. That wasn't a one timer. Matthews handled it for a second. There was time for him to get rid of that, or time for Grubauer to get over and get in front of it, get his pads to the ice. Matthews is so good. Yes, he is. This is true. One of the best players in the league, that's for sure. Kraken out to center. Seattle going for a change. I haven't seen if the lines look different here. So we got Wemberg, McCann, and Schwartz. Eberle. So that line's the same. Dunn and Lauzon on a defensive pair. Oh boy. Not the most defensively solid defensive pairing there, but they're headed off. Gruden's 5-hole infuriates me. Yeah, he's had an issue with that this year, that's for sure. Come on, Geeky, win it. Nope. Spezza. It's a scratch tonight, okay. McCann, Geeky, and Eberle out there right now. Larson and Alexiak paired together. Should have made Wade Simmons play with that like giant silver stick they gave him. Congratulations on your 1000th game. Now you're playing with this anchor of a stick for one game. Blackwell dumps it in. So we got Blackwell, Appleton, and Gord still together on a line. Dude, it's this line again, I'm telling you. Like, they're the only ones doing anything for the Kraken. Oh, he scored! Yes! I just saw that bounce out. I didn't know that went in. Oh, that's the first good thing. Well, actually, no. McCann getting signed is the first good thing that's happened all day. But that's the second good thing that's happened all day. Let's go. So how does this happen? Bounces off of Appleton. So Blackwell went out to Susie. Susie put it on, went off Appleton's skate, but Susie picked it right back up and put it in. Top shelf. Let's go. Tied up 1. All right, we're on track for that. The Leafs would have to score 2 more times, and then the Kraken come back in the third and win it, coming back on the 3-1. I do want the Kraken to win this game specifically just because it's the Leafs. Let's be honest here. Oh, good save, Grubauer. Little screened there by Susie, so good glove hand there. And it's that the Blackwell Appleton Gord line that kept it in the zone. That's like their only offensive zone real presence this game was that line just there, and they ended up scoring off of it. It was Susie that puts it in, but Appleton and Blackwell both get assists. Although Appleton's assist was like it bouncing off of his skate, so I mean it's. I saw people on the subreddit going after Appleton. I don't know. I will say Appleton's contributions to the team are less obvious than other players, but I don't know. I like Appleton. I hope he doesn't get traded. Oh! Matthews turned it over to Wemberg. Oh no! No, the stream paused! Okay, there we go. Shots on goal are 4-3 in favor of Toronto. because he kind of kicked it. You and Steve Dangle should have to do a live stream wrestling match between periods. Maybe it. Oh, that was a quick shot. What's going on here? All right, Cheyenne, do something. Lazan up front to Donskoy. Cheyenne up to Johansson. I feel like Johansson's like disappeared over the last few games too. I mean, I guess he's stuck on that fourth line, but that seems like a guy because that's another guy that could get traded. It seems like you'd want to give him a better look than the fourth line if you're trying to get him. That was the right call there by Appleton. He didn't quite handle it cleanly for the shot, which is too bad. But once he didn't handle that cleanly, that was the right call to... Oh, there we go, Susie. Keep a hold of that. Dump it in. Still Appleton and Blackwell still out there, and Gord. Bit of a long shift for them, but I mean, it's the best line the Kraken have going right now, so... Might as well... Oh! Deflects weird, so they'll go get a change. Oh, Gord's still out there. Alright, there goes Blackwell. Gord gets a hit, and then he'll come out. So we got... the Eberle, McCann, Geeky. I like that line. Eberle, McCann, and Geeky. Or not McCann. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Eberle, McCann, and Geeky. I like that line. Oh, just no one's there. I feel like whenever the Kraken get a good centering pass like that, like out front, there's just no one there to pick it up. I mean, I want to win Maple Leafs. I think you want the Maple Leafs to win. It's fair enough. I'm sure everything seems to rotate around the Leafs in the hockey world. Like, go figure the Leafs are the one that play the Kraken the day that McCann gets signed. And I mean, I know it's not hockey, but like the biggest thing to happen in Seattle sports since the Seahawks winning the Super Bowl happens, and of course the Leafs are playing the Kraken. Like, love it or hate it, but the hockey world does seem to just revolve around the Leafs. Oh, dude, Schwartz has been money since he came back. Good chance for them. He hasn't gotten on the board yet, but 41 goals for Austin Matthews. What's that like? Blackwell the last 4 games has been amazing. Absolutely. It's almost to the point where, because I thought Blackwell was one of the most likely forwards that they would trade, and they still might. But it's almost to the point with how that Blackwell, Appleton, Gord line has been playing that Appleton, I thought there was a chance they would trade as well. I hope that they hang on to those 3 just to keep that line together. Because that, for whatever reason, they just seem to be gelling. Although on the other hand, if you're trying to get Tanev back with Gord when Tanev's back next season, then there's no reason in keeping a line together this year if you're not going to have them together again next year. So it looks like Schwartz is here to work. Yeah, absolutely. Schwartz has been money since he came back. Again, we're like 2 games and half a period in, but Schwartz is, even though he hasn't been on the scoreboard, he has been probably the most consistently good player the Kraken have had on this road trip so far. Maybe other than Blackwell. I think maybe I would say maybe Blackwell then Schwartz have been the best 2 players for the Kraken over these last 3 games, or 2 in so far this game. Wemberg has been more noticeable as of late, but yeah, he has been pretty invisible overall. Yeah, he's been better the last couple of weeks, but I mean, like coming into mid February, I would have said he was the had been the worst player for the Kraken so far this season, as far as like someone that's consistently in the lineup. And Lauzon had a rough start to the season as well, but part of that. Oh, and Tavares puts it in. I don't know. How does Tavares get in there? Who is that? Susie's guy? Yeah, Gio's just left. Like, Gio defended his guy, and then Susie was just way too far up, and nobody was there to cover him. Yeah, I mean, that's on Susie. Well, you don't want to give John Tavares that empty open of a look. He might not be the scorer that Austin Matthews is, but is still a very good player. You don't want to be giving him just free looks like that. Here we go, Appleton. Big hit. Was that Gord laying that hit? I think it was. Oh, Alexiak just put Hall on his butt. It wasn't even like a bit. He just gave him a shove, and Hall just went right over. Fell over like a tree getting cut down. That's not on Grubauer. Yeah, that's not on Grubauer. That's. It looks like it was on Susie. Gio had one guy, but yeah, Tavares got left just all alone to have all the time in the world. Do you think the Seattle Kraken are going to make the playoffs? Not this year. Next year, I think they have a chance, depending on how the draft goes. And I think this year really has just been like anything that could go wrong has gone wrong for the Kraken. Pretty much, they've lost whoever they've lost the like at the time leading scorer for the team to injury 3 different times this season. They've lost fan favorite and like their number one like energy driver in Tanev for the season. Obviously, like you coming into the year, regardless of what people thought of the expansion draft, everyone thought Seattle had one of the best goaltending tandems in the league. And as things have gone this year, it's been one of the worst. So there's no way to predict that coming. We know Susie is getting screamed at by Hackstall right now. Somebody is. I mean, I feel like Hackstall isn't really much of a screamer. I don't really know. Like, I haven't, I'm not in the locker room, obviously. He seems like more of the, like, vocally disapprove, like, vocally disappointed, like, come on, are you kidding me with that? Like, I could be wrong, though. Maybe he does just get irate. Stats wise, yeah, but we'll have to wait till next year. Yeah. Thoughts on the MLB lockout? The owners are a bunch of greedy ass. Try not to swear too much. The owners are greedy pigs. We'll put it that way. It's not on the players. The players are just trying to like. I know it's like the owners try to frame it as it's millionaires versus billionaires, and so like oh well, the players are all rich anyway. They should not all the players are. I'm always going to side with the players, and especially when like the players have given the owners a couple of pretty owner favorable options already, and they keep saying no. Like, yeah, it's just baseball ownership imploding on itself. So, of course, it happens right as the Mariners are finally about to be potentially good. Go figure. Yeah, I can't watch the game on ESPN Plus through NordVPN anymore. Really? That's interesting. Is that like a? I wonder if you just have to switch where your VPN is located out of. If you're like the VPN is located out of like the Northeast, you're probably not going to have much luck because it'll be blacked out for Toronto. But if you can put it out of like Dallas or somewhere, it should work. I don't know though. I don't use Nord, so I don't know. Centering pass from Simmons, broken up by the Kraken. Oh, oh, Grubauer, how did you keep that out? Wow, that was such a good look for Simmons. So Simmons centers it, broken up, and then stolen from Geeky. Marner over to Simmons. Simmons tries to wrap it around, goes off the post and through Grubauer backwards, but Grubauer still managed to get on it. Woo! Done up to Geeky. Geeky up to Eberle. Eberle into the corner. Hall gets it. Oh, Geeky. Geeky lost his edge and went down. Trying to take it off of Hall. Hall has had a terrible year, so, I mean... Susie up to McCann. Missed him. Must have missed him. It's icing. Big save indeed. Yeah, that was... I don't think... I think it actually ended up going off the post more than Grubauer making a save, but... Yep. There's the mention of the Russell Wilson trade. Kill me. Toronto Maple Leafs are going to win. I mean, probably. They're the better team. And they have a lead right now. Shots on goal are 5-8 in favor of the Leafs. 2-1 in score-wise. Leafs keep winning face-offs as well. Is that Morgan Riley that missed that? Nope. It was not. Not out. Oh, Gord. Stick with it, Gord. Stick with it. Get to it, Appleton. Come on. Susie's got it. Over to Appleton. Appleton to Susie. Susie shot. Saved by Campbell. Is that Gord that went down hard next to the net? Hope he's okay. That's a sore spot. You knew they were going to mention it at some point. I mean, they can't not mention it, right? Like... Hopefully that's all the mention of it that gets, though. I see a couple Kraken jerseys out there in the stands. Be fun to go to a Kraken versus Leafs game at some point. That'd definitely be among those people wearing the Kraken jerseys. Morgan Riley tries to get out. He can't. Yarncroke's got it. Come on, Yarncroke, find someone. Yarncroke's got it again. Up to someone. Schwartz has it. Up to Gio. Up to Susie. Shoot. Oh! Susie shot again, saved. Oh. Oh, McKay fanned on the shot, carrying it into the Kraken end. Gio's got it. Gio up to Johansson. Fourth line's in now. Marner takes it in. Good save by Grubauer there. All right, first line out there for the Leafs, and they'll get a face-off in the Kraken end. So this is it's a big face-off here for the Kraken. They need to win this one. It's like being a Blackhawks fan this year, but more painful. Let's see. It's been ages since. Is Donato scratched again? Yes, he is, apparently. So Marner saying something to Grubauer there. I don't know what that was, but seemed to be smiling about it. Yeah, Donato scratched again for reasons unknown. We'll put it that way. I like. There's no way you scratch Donato 3 games in a row without something. Like, he's got to be fighting something that they're not disclosing. Like, maybe he's sick, or obviously not COVID. They would have to disclose that, but maybe he has some sort of injury, but I don't know. I feel like they would be too shy about disclosing that either. So, yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. There's no good reason for Donato not to be in if he's not injured or sick or something. Donato shoots the puck. Hackstall scratch. Yep, basically. How dare you shoot the puck? This team is about passing. Yeah, it's... where do you think the Kraken will pick in the draft? Top 3 after the lottery? It's sure looking that way. Yeah, they have a very good shot at the first overall pick, I'll be honest. Like, I would say they pick in the top 3 is very likely at this point. Because I would not be surprised if the Habs end up passing them. Arizona's real bad, let's be honest. Like, they've had a bit of a good stretch here for a bit, but... Oh. They're showing the original Stanley Cup in the Hockey Hall of Fame. Yep, the Seattle's on the Stanley Cup. Seattle Metropolitans, 1917, so... Oh, Bunting ate it. No, don't stop talking about Russell Wilson. Oh, they're saying Jen Mueller has a thought or two on the Russell Wilson trade. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure she does. She's... Oh, Matthews. Just survive this first line, guys. Just survive the first line. No, don't turn it over. Oh. Oh, they got so lucky there. I think if Marner just tried to shoot that instead of passing it one more time, that was probably in. So here, Matthews steals it out to Marner. Tries to go back to Matthews to shoot, but Matthews whiffed it. Marner should have just shot that. I know Marner's a passer, but... To be fair, Marner's pass was good. Matthews just missed it. If not Shane Wright, I'd like Nemec or Seville. Yeah, I mean someone to score. The Kraken need a scorer, but honestly, just like regardless of who it is, just take the best player available. If they're first overall, that's Shane Wright. If they're not, then yeah, I don't think you pick for position. If you're the Kraken, you just good play done. Good defense. That, not as good of defense. Good save, Grubauer. Schwartz up to Yarncroke. Yarncroke to Wemberg. Into the corner. Dump it around. Lausanne's there, pinching in. And puck squirts out. Leafs have it out to center ice. Kraken get it back. Done. Up to Gord. All right, cool. The Gord line's back out there. That's what we want to see. And icing. So the Gord line in for the Kraken, and they'll get the face off in the Leafs end. So it's about the best case scenario at this point in time. No. Toronto, keep passing the puck. Don't shoot. It's a very, very Kraken mentality there. Pass the puck as much as possible and never shoot it. That's why Donato's not playing, right? That's what we decided. He shoots the puck too much, so they put him on. Gave him a second to cool down. Kerfoot carrying it out into the Kraken zone. Oh, good. Oh, not a very good pass. Gord catches it to center ice. Gord dumping it in. Appleton will chase it down. Blackwell has it. Blackwell shoot. Oh, saved. Woo. Oh, I thought Blackwell was going to have that the way things are going for him lately. That'll be icing again. Kraken already got the change out, so fourth line's out there. Donskoy, Sheehan, and Johansson. Was that Nurse that got a stick on it? I was a Caps fan because of Oshie. Sorry, I'm trying to like keep up with chat and watch the game at the same time. It's not working up. You guys are blowing it up there, but it's awesome. Arizona and Montreal are both playing well. Yeah. I don't know if Arizona can... How long Arizona can keep it. Oh! That was a bad turnover, but it missed the net, fortunately. There we go. Eberle got to it. At least get it out of the zone. There we go, Grubauer. Good save. Fairly easy save, but he made it, so that's what counts. Daggone it, Campbell is beatable. Yeah, Campbell's... He was like Vezina worthy until like mid-December, and then he's just kind of looked very pedestrian ever since then. Leafs have still been winning because they, you know, are a good team, but... Their goaltending hasn't been amazing lately. That having been said, the Kraken haven't been scoring a whole ton as well. Oh, everyone paused for a second. I thought it was in. There we go. Johansson dumps it in. First line in for the Leafs. Just keep it in, Lausanne. Honestly, okay with them just like playing this like a power play, even though it's 5-on-5. Just like kill that. All right, there goes the first line changing off for the Leafs. Yeah, just like if that first line's out there, just play defense. I don't even care. Like just whatever you have to do to not give them rush chances and good looks in the offensive zone. Especially because they had the first line and they had Morgan Riley out there at the same time. That's you just don't want that puck in your end. Lauzon shot saved by Campbell. It was an easy save. Way too much passing. Yeah, I mean they've taken some shots, but that's the Kraken way. Pass it a lot. they pass it around looking for the perfect shot, and I don't know, like I'd rather have three okay shots than one like great shot. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'd rather. I guess I should say I'd rather have 30 okay shots than like 10 really like good shots. It's like more of those are probably gonna end up going in. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but the Kraken definitely do way too much passing, and they definitely have some like they definitely have some opportunities where they have good looks and they just choose to pass it anyway. So it's not even about just giving up on okay chances to look for great ones. It's that they frequently give up great looks in favor of looking for a perfect one. I don't really know. All right, saved by Grubauer there. 26 seconds left. Out of the zone. Eberle, go, Eberle, go. Go, Eberle, go. Shoveled over the net. Dang it. There's a good chance. 10 seconds left in the first. Larson will take this back, and McCann will not get a shot off, and that'll be the end of the first. Leafs lead after one, 2-1. So we're, hey, you know, if the Leafs score once in the second, we're looking good for what I wanted this ideal game to be, which was the Leafs lead 3-1 going into the third, and then the Kraken come back to win 4-3. So my ideal scenario is looking good at the moment. But Kraken played a pretty good first period. Obviously, a couple of big mistakes. Anytime you let the Leafs onto the power play, especially with the way the Kraken kill is going right now, that's a mistake. And then Susie just kind of boneheaded, losing complete track of anything happening defensively, and leads to Tavares getting on a free breakaway, and he beats Grubauer. So 2-1 Leafs. I've been watching all of your Kraken videos as a new fan. Do you think you'll do something similar for the Mariners? Definitely not every game. I mean, I don't know what I would talk about every game for the Mariners, to be honest. It's like, I might do something. I thought about doing it last offseason. So I have some plans for what I'm going to do with the offseason hockey-wise for the Kraken. Assuming baseball happens in the first place, that's the number one thing. I might do something like a weekly, kind of like a weekly Mariners type of thing. Like how the Mariners do this week, their kind of record, that kind of stuff, thoughts on them. I don't know, I'm playing around with it. I want to get some other Seattle, mostly just Mariners, and, well, I would have included Seahawks in that. I wanted to get some other Seattle sports involved in the channel a little bit more than just only Kraken. Kraken are going to be coming first just because that's where the traction's been. I think traction, I will say, has fallen off a little bit as the season has gone along with the R&R videos, which, given how the Kraken are playing, is somewhat understandable. But I do want to do something for Mariners, and I was going to do stuff for the Seahawks, but I don't know if I really could get my heart into it anymore at this point. That might have to wait till the future. I mean, it's still the NFL, so like it would drive viewers, but I'm not desperate enough for views to suffer through what the rest of the like next decade of Seahawks football is going to be. I mean, I'm still going to watch Seahawks games, but I don't know that I really need to talk about them. I mean, where is it? There it is. Make sure that changed over. It did. Cool. But yeah, I do want to do something for the Mariners, assuming the MLB actually plays games this season. I've also there's reason to believe that the Sonics might be coming back here in the next 5 years. So I want to figure out how to maybe start thinking about some NBA stuff eventually. I don't really follow the NBA as it is right now, but I'll say this as someone who a content creator here, or like someone who makes videos on YouTube, the NBA is by far the most friendly league as far as like using game clips and stuff like that. Um, and as far as like future of the league is concerned and how the league's growing, I think the NBA is got the hold on the younger generation, which is the future. So I do kind of want to think about, especially if the Sonics are going to come back here in the next 5 years, maybe looking at that down the line. But anyway, short answer, yeah, I do want to get some Mariners stuff in there. I just don't know what it'll look like or how frequent the videos will be. Maybe weekly, maybe monthly, but I do want to do something, especially with the Mariners starting to look like a team that could be competing for playoffs here. Mariners, I can't wait. Well, I mean, look, if baseball happens, the Mariners have a pretty good chance, I think, of making some noise, which we've been waiting 2 decades for. And there's been years where we thought that was going to happen and then it hasn't. So, totally possible the Mariners could all these prospects could just fall in the face and the Mariners keep being the Mariners. But I don't know. To be clear, this is still going to be a like NHL and hockey first channel, I think, as far as I can see into the foreseeable future. But I do want to mix some other stuff in. I don't want to be just hockey, if you know what I mean. So, praying for the Sonics. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, supposedly they're starting construction on an NBA locker room in Climate Pledge Arena. So, or getting close to starting construction on an NBA locker room, which was the plan all along. I just didn't realize they were actually like gonna start building the locker room to be ready for the team before it's even announced. There's also there's been some reports that within the next 5 years, both Seattle and Vegas will have NBA teams. So I don't know that we're too far away from seeing an announcement about NBA expansion. And the NBA has always said Seattle will be one of those teams if they expand again. And by always said, I mean like since the current commissioner, who is in a total A-hat, if you will, try to keep this family friendly, but isn't a despicable person. We'll put it that way. I only watch the NBA when it's playoffs. Regular season is boring. I don't watch. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you there. As it is, I don't watch regular season NBA at all. And playoffs, let's be honest, I pretty much will only watch like elimination games here and there, and maybe a couple games of the finals. But if the Sonics come back, it's a pro team in Seattle, so I'll watch them. Maybe not every game, because again, Kraken first, but I'd probably do something similar as to what I was talking about with the Mariners, of like a Sonics Weekly type of thing. How's the travel, traffic, and time in and out of Climate Pledge Arena? Honestly, it's really, really good. I've been very surprised by, how, generally speaking, how smooth it is. There's still traffic. There's going to be traffic leaving any game anywhere. It's just when you have 17,000 or more people leaving one building at the same time, there's going to be traffic, right? There's no way around that. But it's, especially with it being where it's at and people like worried about Mercer just turning into a parking lot before and after games, it really hasn't been that way. There's definitely traffic, especially during rush hour and stuff, but it hasn't been as bad as I was expecting, not by a long shot, which I think is largely to do with the Kraken being so forward about including public transportation as part of like your ticket gets you a ride on the monorail, which if you want to park in downtown Seattle and then you have a free monorail ticket from the middle of the city into by the Space Needle, and then you just walk right over to the arena. So yeah, it's really not bad getting to and from the arena, honestly. See, I'm a Bills fan. 13 seconds will haunt me until I die. I've been all about the Bills bandwagon, so I Seahawks fan first, although I shouldn't say that anymore. But as far as the NFL is concerned, even though the Seahawks are doing their best to implode everything and chase away as many fans as possible by trading Russell Wilson, then outside of that, I'm still a Seahawks fan. But the Bills have been my AFC team. I think the Broncos might be now, just because if the Seahawks aren't going to show loyalty to Russell Wilson, then I'm willing to show at least a little bit. Um, yeah, I don't know. Feel for you though. I like underdogs, so I like the Bills. We'll put it that way. Do you watch the Sounders at all? Not really. Soccer's not really my thing. It's just too slow. If I'll put it this way, like I don't really watch the Sounders, but um, especially my sister, my family like the Sounders, so I get updates on them every now and then, and I'll check score. Like if they're on the playoffs, I'll check scores and stuff. But and if an MLS team is gonna win, it might as well be the Sounders. But yeah, I barely have enough interest to watch World Cup soccer, to be honest. So it's just not for me really, which is fine because it's enough to keep track of. I guess I don't really have to worry about keeping track of the the Seahawks as much, but it's enough to keep track of like 3-4 teams. I don't need watching every game of every team is difficult. We'll put it that way. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, you haven't made it to a game yet. The games are very fun in Climate Pledge. I will say that they've gotten early on. They've gotten better. They're still learning how to do like the in-game thing. I think a little bit like their in-game presentation and their like hype squad or whatever is. They're learning as they go, but it's a lot of fun. Like the atmosphere is great inside the arena. The arena is beautiful on the inside. Pre-game show keeps getting better. Supposedly we're getting a mascot in this sometime this month, although I wouldn't be terribly surprised if they just wait until next year at this point. But hey, it's JT. Yeah, there's JT in COVID protocol, so he didn't go on the road trip. But Scott, love your work, commitment to the Kraken, keep it up. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's been when I started the season and doing videos after every game, I knew I was going to finish the season, but I didn't realize it was going to be like this. I'll put it that way. Um, if you had told me the Kraken are going to be fighting for a first overall pick at the end of the season, I may have decided to go with just doing the R&R videos weekly rather than after every game. But we started doing them every game, and I'm not ready to quit on it. So we'll keep it going, even though the views haven't really been there over the last few. But that's okay. I still like making the videos, and that's, if I made them for the views, I wouldn't be making them anymore. We'll put it that way. Or if I made it just for the views definitely help. Like, if nobody was watching the videos, I might not bother making them, but there's still a loyal handful of you that watch all of them, so I appreciate that. Seahawks fan through and through, but ready for a long, dark time ahead. Yeah, it's going to be a long, dark time ahead. It's going to be the 90s all over again. Which is probably because the Mariners are starting to be good. It seems like there's some kind of rule that the Seahawks and Mariners can't be good at the same time. So, here we are. Mariners, assuming MLB actually plays games, are looking like they could be competitive, so the Seahawks had to immediately tank. No, yeah, Russell officially agreed to the trade. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and mute this. I don't want to listen to Russell Wilson talk. Oh, the ticket prices for the Broncos game in Seattle just went up. Yeah, but all of the other ticket prices of every other game went down significantly. They're going to have so many people like dumping season tickets and stuff too. Like it's going to be so much easier to get a Seahawks season ticket now. That waiting list has been ridiculous for a long time, but yeah, it's going to be a lot of people. It's one thing if like your Hall of Fame quarterback retires like a Drew Brees, but when the franchise goes out of their way to trade him, then yeah, it's come on. How is the arena? Awesome. Yeah, the arena's great. It really is. First overall pick sounds awesome for the Kraken. Absolutely, it does. I mean, I will when the last draft happened. Kraken picked second overall, and I remember saying this is hopefully this is like the highest the Kraken will be picking for a very long time. We're at the point now where hopefully the Kraken pick first overall the following year. So we've yet to see Matty Beniers play, so we'll get Beniers next year and hopefully Shane Wright, but we'll see. It'll definitely make the draft lottery. We'll probably be streaming the draft lottery. We'll do a short stream for that. 1992 Seahawks worst offense ever. Yeah, yeah. The '90s Seahawks were not anything to write home about. Really appreciate all of the R&Rs. Well, I appreciate you watching them. I'm assuming you watch all of them if you when I say that. But yeah, we keep making them. We're not giving up on them. I know I said in a couple of them that they're it's harder to find the motivation to make them. That's still absolutely true, but it doesn't mean I'm going to stop. So don't worry about that. Not just being honest with the feeling behind them, but it's not going to stop me from making them. It does get a little bit weird when the team's as bad as like or the record is as bad as the Kraken record is, where it's like the feeling is that because I want the Kraken to win every game in the moment, the feeling is like frustrated and annoyed that the Kraken lost. But then at the same time, we're kind of at the point of the season where every Kraken loss is that much closer to potentially Shane Wright. So it's like you want to be frustrated because they lost, but the kind of long term effect of the loss is actually good. So I don't know. It's a bit of a weird place to be in for those R&Rs. I watch everyone when the Kraken go off your channel. Oh, when the Kraken go off your channel, will explode. Gotcha. I believe. Yeah, it'll happen eventually. And we will be the OG fans. That's absolutely right. Never forget the OGs. That's for sure. Especially people like if you. I don't see who likes the videos, although I'd love. Hopefully, maybe there's a way to do that. But everybody that likes and comments on the videos absolutely appreciate that as well. And even if you don't, anybody that watches them very much appreciate anybody that watches the videos. Yeah, the likes and comments obviously help as well. But which, like, I know that's something that every YouTuber says. You're probably all like, if you're probably all tired of hearing it. Like I was when I just before I like made videos when I was just watching YouTube. I was like, ugh, shut up about liking and commenting. But it helps get traction to the channel, which I'm even though I'm making these videos because it's fun and it's what I like doing. There's especially like a certain amount of like just self compete, like competing just for with myself of like I want to see the growth happening, and things like likes and comments very very much help that growth happen. So yeah. Anyway, so that's why that's why you say it is to you always want where your work is going to continue growing, and that's what we want for the channel. So and we'll always remember the OG fans. Yeah, when the Kraken go on a playoff run, the playoff run is what it'll take. Like obviously, man, if the Kraken just had this like if the Kraken had the season the Golden Knights had in their first year, probably already be at like 10,000 subscribers, but that's okay. It'll come eventually. I'm not too worried about it. I didn't wait for this team for my entire life just to give up on them in the first year. That's for sure. Did you watch the Seattle Dragons? I did watch the Seattle Dragons. Didn't watch every game, but I watched most of their games. They weren't very good, even even in the XFL league. But I liked the name. Hopefully they come back. It'd be fun. I mean, at this point they'd be better than the Seahawks. So the trade haul for Wilson was fair in your opinion. I mean, Yeah, anybody that, like, that's what I've kind of seen from the general consensus, it seems, from people that don't have a stake in either team, is that the Seahawks got a good return in the trade. But there's not, you won't find a single, well, maybe you would find a single one. There's a fair amount of Seahawks fans, but you're not going to find very many Seahawks fans that want to hear that, regardless of whether or not it's true or turns out to be true in the long run. Like, it's just, no one wants to hear it. Which is, like, I'm not trying to be rude to your comment there, but even if it's true, it's not something that, you know, especially right now, anyone's ready to listen to, if you know what I mean. The trade sucks only because we basically recouped the picks from the Adams trade. Yeah, that is one of the part that feels worse about the worst about the Seahawks trade is that it feels like this may not have happened if they hadn't traded for Jamal Adams in the first place. On the other hand, it may still have happened just for cap reasons, but I don't know. Sorry I'm late out of basketball practice. All good, Riley. Hope that was fun. I was never any good at basketball. Decent at bump, but actually playing basketball, no. Horse, a little bit. Actual basketball, definitely nothing at all. I can't jump, so that definitely doesn't help. Not very high, anyway. Your subs went higher fast. Yeah, I mean, they exploded during the expansion draft, and like the streams for the streams for the expansion draft and um, the entry draft 2 days later, those were huge. Yeah, it exploded over the summer, like around the expansion draft and all that stuff. So it's definitely grown a lot in this last year, and I'm definitely not losing sight of that at all. And I appreciate everyone that's joined up. It's been awesome. You know, I will say, like, a year ago, I was nowhere near expecting this channel to be as big as it is right now. So it's just grateful for where it's gone, even if I am a bit at the mercy of the Kraken as a team and their performance. Appleton, Blackwell, Gord line back out there. Blackwell's taking it through center into the Toronto end. Oh, Blackwell put it up front. Oh, there's no one there. Oh, if Appleton just stuck to that other side, that was probably in. Appleton came down the middle instead of down the other side, which is not a bad call, but oh, the pass was there. What's the call here? Got a penalty of some kind. Now they got Lauzon for tripping. Oh boy. All right. Toronto back to the power play. Fantastic. Fan-freaking-tastic. So the penalty kill is currently in the last 7 periods is currently 1 for 6. 1 for 6. Both the last 2 teams the Kraken faced were 2 for 2 on the power play in their first 2 tries, so come on, guys, just get it out of the zone. You need to get this first power play unit off the ice for the Leafs. There we go. Dump it, dump it, dump it. All right, Leafs going for a change, so that's good. At least get Marner and Matthews off the ice. Oh, Gord was that close to intercepting that and getting a shorthanded chance. Go, go! Oh! Oh! Good defensive stick by Marner to shut down the Gord breakaway. Kasha in. Dump to the side. Leafs are going to get set up here. Is that bunting? No, it's not bunting. I don't know some of the numbers of the Leafs like lower lines as well. Oh, Grubauer keeping it out. 15 seconds left on the kill. Come on, guys. Don't let them get a last-second goal. Just dumps it in. Dump it out. There we go. Oh, he put it out of play? Gio dumped it over the glass. Oh my goodness. They get the kill and then Gio just put it over the glass so that they'll get, 3 seconds of 3-on-5, but they basically just get back-to-back power plays. Grubauer didn't catch it clean there on that save, but he's able to keep his pads to the ice in front of it and keep the puck out of the net. Golly. We're coming for that number 1 on pick. Absolutely. Arizona's up 6-1 in the second. All right, well. Yeah, they're I don't know how, because that team is not built to win games, but they're winning games right now. At least with that. Oh, that way, Grubauer. At least with the Habs, it's understandable. Like that team's like, they might not be built to be like a cup contender necessarily, like making the Stanley Cup Finals they did last year, but they're at least built to be a competitive team. They just have had a nightmare season until they changed head coach. So it at least makes sense that they've gotten things turned around and like should be able to keep that up. But the Coyotes, that team isn't built to be doing as well as they've done over the last couple of weeks. But I'm not going to complain about it, All right, down to 58 seconds on the Leafs power play. Kicked it out, that away. No way, Yarncroke. Oh, that's not Yarncroke, that's Cheyenne. Yeah, Cheyenne did a thing. Credit where it's due. Brody kept it in. Oh, it's in. Five-hole again, I think. Well, it's 3-1, just like I said. Yeah, it might as well have been a double minor, except for even worse because Gio's the one that went to the box the second time. Oh, Tavares tipped it. Okay, that. Yeah, Tavares tipped it through the legs of Grubauer. I'm pretty sure he did. Well, the Kraken did kill off the first power play, but not the second one. They got close, but close is not good enough. Shots on goal are 12-17 in favor of the Leafs. All right, this is Leafs are up 3-1. This is exactly where they don't want to be. Although, I don't know that there's too many Leafs fans feeling nervous about. Maybe they do. 3-1 hasn't been their score this year, but oh, God. Of course they have to fucking deal with this. Sorry, we're getting rid of these spam messages real quick. Get some mods eventually, but... Take my eyes off it for 1 second and some stupid Russian bot gets in here and does stupid stuff. Uh-oh. There we go. Root Sports telecast having an issue there for a second. Yeah, I mean, Grubauer knew he should have had it. Yeah, I think he's definitely frustrated that it went in. It was a good tip by... Good tip in front. Oh! That line got it back into the offensive end, but the pass couldn't connect Blackwell out to Larson. Oh, no, Appleton! Oh! That should have been a goal. Need a replay of that. I don't know if it got tipped on its way to Appleton or if he just straight up missed it, but he's had a bit of an issue like finishing lately. Donskoy almost put it in. All right, well, you know what? The Leafs got the 3-1 lead. I'm okay with the Kraken just starting to come back now. They don't have to wait till the third period. It would be more fun if it happened all in the third period, but they can start it now. I'll allow it. I'll allow the comeback to just start now. You know, I think I can do that for them. Five-hole again. Kraken subreddit is going to be furious. Yeah, I mean, if you give the Leafs power play 4 minutes to score, they're probably going to do it regardless of. I mean, Vasilevsky might be able to stop it, but like, I don't know. I'm not gonna put I'm not gonna put that on Grubauer too much. Because it's the 5-hole, I'm sure people just love jumping on it. But and it was tipped in front by Tavares. Like Grubauer got the pad down in front of where the shot was going, but I'm pretty sure it was tipped by Tavares off to the side, so... All right, time to start the comeback. We'll just do it now. Seattle is trash. Okay. You're entitled to your opinion, Tristan. I mean, the Kraken have won as many Stanley Cups as the Leafs have in the last 50 years, so it's what it is. Last time the Leafs won a cup was 1967. Last time the Leafs won a cup, there were 6 teams in the league. Last time the Leafs got past the first round of the playoffs, it was 2004. Seahawks had never been to a Super Bowl the last time the Leafs made it past the first round. It's beginning to look bleak. Good save, Grubauer. That was an easier save. We'll say this. I mean, once again, the Kraken are tied 1-1 at 5-on-5. Just the freaking special teams. I mean, you can't... Scores! Beautiful! Let's go! Here's the comeback. Johansson to Wemberg. Wemberg to Johansson. Back to Wemberg. Puts it in. What a rush. What a score. Wemberg just hadn't finished off the change yet, I think. Oh, Eberle to Wemberg. Wemberg to Johansson. Johansson back to Wemberg. Skating in. Puts it in. Let's go. I think that was Simmons that went down a bit early to try and block the pass and slid past the passing lane. Oh, the Kraken back in the offensive zone. Come on, guys. Oh, McCann just couldn't handle that clean getting into the offensive zone. It'd be awesome to see McCann score in Toronto. That'd be fun. Correction, Kraken are up 2-1 when it's 5-on-5. Yep, as Kraken are now up 2-1, 5-on-5, but it's special teams again are the difference at the moment. Of course, it doesn't help when you give the Leafs 3 power plays. 4 minutes of power play all at once at one point, but yeah, when you give the Leafs 3 power plays. Oh, Simmons actually like got a little bit of that with his stick, but it didn't make a difference. Wemberg still found it and put it in. Let's go. See, just like I said, the Kraken are welcome to start their comeback now, and here we go. They're playing better five. Well, I wouldn't say that necessarily all the way. Let's see if we can look at some natural stat trick here. See what the 5-on-5 is actually looking like. Let's see. Just look at this real quick. Yeah, so I mean, look, the first period was like, look how even that is along there, and then just kind of Leafs took over halfway through the first. Obviously, the Kraken just giving them power play after power play, and then yeah, the Kraken just dominating here for the last little bit. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. The Royal Road. Yeah, this is the first time I'd heard about that, but maybe I've heard it before. I definitely haven't heard it very often, that's for sure. But yeah, the middle of the ice, the right down the slot there. Yeah, Wemberg's been great over the last couple of months. Again, he was probably, I don't know if I'd say my least favorite player, but he was definitely the guy that I would have picked as being like kind of the biggest disappointment this year up until kind of mid-February, and he's been great ever since like the middle of February. Look at that, just right back and forth across the slot. So is Johansson that hadn't quite finished the change, but he gets the assist there. Freaking take it. McCann was the one missing from the line of all people. Worked out, though. All right, looks like Gordline's out there for the face-off. They kept it in. Oh, it's not going to stay in, though. Up for Appleton. Come on, find Blackwell. Oh, I found Gord. Oh, Gord took the one-timer, but save made by Campbell. I think Campbell saw that pass coming. Blackwell was ready for the rebound, though. If that comes back out, the game's tied. So good job by Campbell there controlling the rebound. One face-off, back for Geeky. Oh, it didn't get cleared. Get to it, Donskoy. We'll get it out. Oh. Still, all right. Leafs clear it. Is that gonna be icing though? Yep, icing. Gio barely got there before Engvall. Good for the older people. Whose contract worries you more, Grubauer's or Schwartz? I don't know that really either of them worry me a ton. I guess I'd probably pick Grubauer. I guess I would probably pick Grubauer just because, like, if he isn't able to bounce back, then yeah, that's they're gonna call another penalty. They're gonna call another penalty on the Kraken. It's Geo cross checking. Okay, well, I mean, they're certainly not giving the Kraken any breaks in this game. Yikes. That was, I mean, I guess by the letter of the law, that's a cross check, but that's, I don't know. That's a bit of a soft call, I think. Marner's going to shoot. Nope, he's going to pass it back for Riley. Out to Matthews. Shoots. Save. Blocked in front, actually, I think. Let's try to not go down 4-2, huh? There we go. Good clear. That away, Gord. Wow, only 19 shots for Toronto so far. It seems like it's been way more than that. Of course, like half of those are on the power play, but... Oh, go, Gord, go! They score! Blackwell! Blackwell from Gord on the shorthanded goal. Let's go! Kraken have come back to tie it shorthanded. Yes! Gord got like he got almost broke away twice in the last power play and makes it happen here. Let's go! Yes! Let's get that away score turned back up to 3. Tie game. Yes! Come on, beat the Leafs. Well, it's good to see even though the Kraken penalty kill is giving up goals left and right, that they're still able to score some themselves. Blackwell right through the 5-hole as Campbell tried to get back for it. This is the second power play unit now for the Leafs. Good clear. Still 40 seconds left on the power play for the Leafs, so there's plenty of time for them to still take the lead back, but that's why I got your jersey, Yanni. So the Kraken are supposed to get... Oh, there we go. That was a little dangerous. The Kraken are supposed to be getting a reverse retro jersey. Like, reverse retros are coming back next year, so Kraken would get one, and I'll definitely get one when they come out, and I'm thinking Yanni Gord might be the one I go for. Oh, good pass interception. They just couldn't get it clean to... There we go. Gio's back out. Power play killed off. That away, Kraken. Let's go. Come all the way back. Shorthanded goal. And it's Blackwell again, too, yeah. Blackwell and Gord on the penalty kill Like I feel like you can't trade Blackwell anymore. I definitely was thinking that Blackwell was one that was likely to go. I feel like you can't trade Blackwell anymore. They might still, but oh, man, that feels so bad after like the last couple of weeks that especially Blackwell and Gord have had together, and Appleton too with that like finishing off that line. But even on the kill, just Gordon Blackwell have like all their shorthanded goals pretty much have been Gordon Blackwell setting it up. Come on, Schwartz. Get on the score sheet. Get on the score sheet, Schwartz. You deserve it. All right, who's this on? Another... The Leafs are getting called. Okay. Like, this better not be a fifth power play for the Leafs. Are you kidding me? All right, so Kraken get a power play and just try not to give up a shorthanded goal. That's all I care about. Let's not let the Leafs get a shorthanded goal, please. Kraken get a power play though with a chance to take the lead before the second's even done. You know, I was saying the Kraken should come back from 3-1 in the third, but I'm okay with them coming back 3-1 in the second. And they can take the lead here on the power play. Oh, how sweet that would be. I just want the Kraken to take the lead here, and then if they end up losing, then whatever. They made the meme happen of coming back from 3-1, you know? We at least got the meme if the Leafs, as long as the Kraken can get the 4-3 lead, if they end up losing, at least we made the meme happen. That's all I care about. I'll probably get a Beniers jersey next year. If we get Shane Wright, I'll get his. I've been thinking about getting a Beniers as well. Just from the sake that, like, at the very least, he'll always be the first ever draft pick for the Kraken. So, like, regardless of how Beniers turns out in the NHL, which I think he'll be perfect. Like, he's going to be a good player, I think, in the NHL. But he'll always be the first draft pick the Kraken ever made. So. Give me a Metropolitans jersey with Kraken colors and the Metropolitans logo. I'm honestly kind of hoping for like a bit the opposite, like a more Kraken style jersey but in Metropolitan colors. That's personally what I'm hoping for, but I don't know. We'll see. They also have, like they have other things they can go, like they can go back to the WHL, like the old WHL as well, like Seahawks are a bit of a sore subject, but there was a Seahawks hockey team before there was ever an NFL Seahawks in Seattle. So they've got that to go back to. They've got the totems. I love the totems colors. I'd love if they did like a Kraken jersey in totems colors or something like that. And I'm not just saying like a Kraken jersey, but like red, white, and green, or like red, off, white, and green, but like maybe put some stripes behind the S or something like that. Not the full like Metropolitans like stripes all up and down it, but like a couple stripes behind the S or something. I don't know. They could do something nice with it. All right, out for McCann. Kraken in the offensive zone on the power play here. Lots of passing as we're used to. Come on, get it across to McCann. Shoot, McCann, shoot. McCann gets the shot off. So we got one shot on the power play. It's better than a lot of Kraken power plays. And it's always McCann taking the shot too. McCann got the shot there, but save made. Pretty low expectations. I want to win. I mean, I want to win too. I want the win, but I definitely want the Kraken to win. But I'm just happy with them. If they can complete the comeback to at least take the lead, that would be awesome. Plus, there is also the fact that as much as I want the Kraken to win every game that they play, every game that they lose at this point is that much closer to that first overall pick potential. So, good job, Yarncroak. Stop that breakaway before it can get going. Wemberg to Geeky. Geeky back to Wemberg. Wemberg back to Geeky. Up to Dunn. Across to Gord. Gord's going to shoot. Off the glass. Dunn puts it back in. Gord will get it before Hall's on the penalty kill. That's interesting. Riley gets it out. 24 seconds left on the power play, so the Kraken might get one more go at this, but yeah. I wouldn't expect that they score here in the next 20 seconds, but McCann shoot! Oh, off the post! Oh, no! Oh, off the post. I think Campbell got a little bit of it to put it off the post. What a chance. Man. You know what? That was a good power play for the Kraken. They didn't score, so the fact that the Kraken didn't score, like at this point we just need that power play to actually put it goals, like pucks in the net, but that was a good power play. It was one of the best power plays they've had in quite a while. Ooh, Marner put it wide. That was a dangerous chance. I hope Seattle wins too, Riley. Sean, are you mad that I was saying that I'm okay with the Leafs winning? I don't know what you're... I definitely want the Kraken to win, everybody. Calm down, calm down. Ugh. Does it go off both posts? I thought it just went off one post. Maybe I just didn't see the other one. Ah, so close. If they get Shane Wright, would that mean Beniers probably second line center? I mean, they'll give both of them looks. Right? They're not going to... I think Beniers... Yeah, I mean, like, if they get Shane Wright and both Shane Wright and Beniers pan out the way that they're kind of projected to, then you could definitely put... Beniers would be the second liner unless you want to put both of them on the same line. But I would think Beniers probably fits better as second line. And you'd have that first line would be like Shane Wright, McCann, and like Schwartz or somebody. McCann and Schwartz on wing. Or McCann and Eberle on wing. Is it too many men on the ice for the Leafs? Yep, Tavares is in the box. Too many men for the Leafs. Kraken get a second power play. It's all coming up Millhouse. All coming up Kraken at the moment. Who knows what the lineup will be and how ready Beniers or Wright would be day one. Yeah, I mean, that's ultimately what it comes down to, right? That's going to be 4-on-4. McCann's getting called for tripping. Well, there goes the power play. All right, well, 4-on-4. McCann getting called for tripping on Hall. Well, a 3-second power play for the Kraken does not score a goal, to the surprise of no one. Although, to be fair, the Canes did score a goal in 4 seconds of power play on Sunday, so... 4-on-4 is not really where you want to be against the Leafs, to be honest. The more ice you give to Tavares, to especially Marner and Matthews, that's not going to be a good thing. We'll say that. Oh! Oh! No! No! Oh, Hall took Matthews down, but the Kraken couldn't get the puck clean. Oh, that was a good chance for an odd man rush. How funny would that have been if Hall takes Matthews down and the Kraken score on the 2-on-1? Kerfoot in with the puck. Out to Dermott. Nylander. Out of way, Grubauer. Good save. Nylander again. Nylander's going to shoot that. Nope. Out to Kerfoot. Yeah, see, this is like the Leafs are too skilled to let them 4-on-4. It's like an absolute win for the Leafs to go 4-on-4 off of that. 34 seconds of 4-on-4, then there will be 3 seconds of Leafs power play immediately into back to 5-on-5. $15 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Matthews has it. Oh, he missed the puck. Oh, thank goodness. Come on, Kraken, get to it. No. Out to Riley. Oh, thank goodness. Just gonna look at chat. Somebody will let me know if they. Oh, he had Riley for a goal if he passes that. And we're back to 5-on-5. 10 seconds left in the period. Oh, don't let them score in the final seconds here, guys. Come on now. Just get it out. 2 seconds. Just shoot it, Gord. Yeah, there we go. Gord didn't see the clock. What do you mean, oh my goodness, not Bobby? I don't like that. You're making me worry. The Seahawks just released Bobby Wagner. Are you kidding me? You can't even trade Bobby Wagner. They straight up released Bobby Wagner. What the Dude. I can't even right now. Like, the Seahawks are going 0-17. I Unbelievable. Well, I mean, at least the Kraken game's fun, but you just watch the Seahawks burn to the ground in one day. They've been the yeah. Per Adam Schefter, yeah. Bobby Wagner apparently released by the Seahawks. You can't even trade like two Hall of Famers gone in one day. You can't even trade Bobby Wagner. Are you kidding me? Like, why you had all that? You just made like tons of cap space. I don't understand. That doesn't make any sense at all. I can't even right now. I can't even right now. Watch Bobby go to Denver too. Like he can go wherever he wants now. Dude, how did they? I don't even care what they got for Russell Wilson. Like they straight up released Bobby Wagner for free. They released Richard Sherman, who may be a Hall of Fame cornerback, years ago. I mean, I know it was years ago, but still, they never got anything for Richard Sherman, never got anything for Earl Thomas, never got anything for now Bobby Wagner. Like this front office is a joke. There was a time when I was like, how is John Schneider and Pete Carroll? How have they not won GM or Coach of the Year? And like maybe they still should have in those like early 2010s. But honestly, like retroactively, I'm glad they never did. This is a joke. This is an absolute joke. I guess it's only fitting they got Russell and Bobby in the same. I guess it wasn't the same day because the second and third round would have been different days, but got Russell and Bobby like in the same draft and gone in the same day. 10 years of Russell and Bobby, and now they're both gone. Unbelievable. I mean, like the Seahawks aren't going anywhere as a franchise other than I mean they're not like leaving Seattle ever, but I kind of hope that they just like this just like absolutely fucks like screws them over. At least the Seahawks were consistently good for almost a decade. They were consistently good for almost 2 decades, honestly. Like people forget about them, like how good the Seahawks were in the Matt Hasselbeck era. Before that, yeah, there was a couple off years there between Hasselbeck and Holmgren, and then when Pete and well, I guess when Russell showed up, because even the 2 years of Pete without Russell weren't great. But so yeah, they had like 4 years in there that weren't amazing, but for most of like 20 years, ever since the realignment, the Seahawks have been one of the most consistently, other than the Patriots and Packers, they've been the most consistently great team in the NFL. And yeah, they're going to be the Lions now for a while. Like in that division, they're going to lose 6 games in the division every year for the next who knows how long. I appreciate it, liked and sub, go Leafs go. Appreciate it. I won't say I'm cheering for the Leafs, but I mean the Leafs can help the Kraken get a better chance at Shane Wright, so at least there's that. But yeah, this is just pain. Just not necessarily the Kraken game. I mean, like coming back from down 3-1 against the Leafs is fun, but yeah, we just watch the Seahawks burn everything to the ground in one day. Two of the best ever Seahawks gone in the same day. Yeah, if they like, no one had better ever wear 3 or 54 for a Seahawk player ever again. Like I was surprised when I think it was like the very next year Travis Homer came out in 25 after they released Sherm. And like granted that didn't end on the greatest of terms, but I was surprised that anybody ever wore 25 again. If anybody ever wears 3 or 54, then like I've lost all respect for this franchise until John Schneider and Pete Carroll are gone. Which is awful because like Pete Carroll and John Schneider brought us Bobby and Russell. They brought us a Super Bowl, and now they've just like completely ruined everything 10 years later. I don't know. I guess it's like if you either die the hero or you watch yourself become the villain kind of thing. Like they've absolutely become the villain. Let's be honest about it. Like they're the villain now. Arizona's up 7-2 after two. Oh, it helps getting Shane right. Look at the sneaker collection JT has. Look at the helmet collection JT has. He's got his NHL helmets back there. I see the Wild one, the Lightning one. But yeah, that's he's got like a drawer for each pair of shoes. That's quite the sneaker collection he's got. What's he got on his skates? He's got some custom skates back there too. I wonder what's on those. Dude, what a like awful 2 months for like NFL in Seattle. You watch the Rams in some of the ugliest jerseys the NFL has ever seen win the Super Bowl, and then they just blow up everything, trading away two of the best players the franchise has ever seen. Or not trading away, traded one away, and then released another because apparently you can't even get anything for one of the best linebackers that's ever played football. Like, hopefully you guys bounce back. Yeah, Seahawks aren't bouncing back from this, not for a long time. I wouldn't be surprised if Pete Carroll's gone. Honestly, like I don't know if he had how much of a say he had in this, but like he did say that he wouldn't have stuck around as long as he did if it wasn't for Russell being at quarterback. And now with Russell and Bobby gone, even if he was part of it, I can't imagine he sticks around too much longer. Like Pete'll be gone pretty soon, but yeah, you're telling me like am I telling me to have any faith in John Schneider after this? Absolutely not. Absolutely no faith. This is ridiculous. I mean, unless Bobby like asked to be released, that's the only thing. Like if Bobby asked to be released, then whatever. He did have a tweet earlier today. So when the Seahawks traded Russell, Bobby had a tweet that said Sherm is a prophet, obviously referring to Richard Sherman. And Sherman doesn't have the greatest opinion of Pete Carroll and John Schneider for obvious reasons because he got released. And Bobby got hurt this year, but like, yeah, I'm sure Sherm said something to Bobby about like the franchise. They're not going to be loyal to you, and yeah, if that's what Bobby's talking about, then he's right because they just straight up released him. Unbelievable, absolutely unfreaking believable. At least you don't have Matt Ryan as your quarterback. I'd rather have Matt Ryan than the nobody the Seahawks currently have. I can't believe they chose Pete and John over Russ and Bobby. Unbelievable. Well, the Kraken better get things turned around because the Seahawks are going to be a dumpster fire for years to come. You have to tear it down eventually. That's just how things work. I mean, kind of. The Seahawks, like, there's a difference though between tearing it down and like kind of like letting it die naturally. Like the Matt Hasselbeck, Mike Holmgren era, kind of like that's how you want an era to end. Like they had a couple of years where it wasn't great, and obviously Hasselbeck was coming towards the end, and the Seahawks decided not to re-sign Hasselbeck. I think they might have released Hasselbeck, but it was like obvious that he was coming towards the end of his career, and he was ready for it. And Holmgren was done, so that the Seahawks went into a bit of a rebuild there, and that's when they got Pete and John. And I mean, they got what was it, Jim Mora first, who was an absolute nightmare of a head coach, but yeah, it was like 3 years of kind of like a retool, and then they were back to being good. I mean, I don't have any faith that that's gonna that's gonna happen here. Like you don't trade a Hall of Fame quarterback and then release a Hall of Fame linebacker in one day, and yeah, I don't know. How do I don't even know. I used all of my angry tweet energy earlier today for the Russell Wilson trade. I don't even know what to do about this like Bobby news. Sorry. I'm angry tweeting. I don't how do you dump two future Hall of Fame players in one day and expect some live tweeting here? Sorry about it. I know it's not most interesting. Drew Lock is bad. Yes, Drew Lock is bad. Absolutely. That's the Seahawks' current quarterback. I swear, if Drew Lock shows up with number 3 next year, I don't know. The Seahawks are really testing my loyalty to that franchise. I'll be honest. At least for a while. I don't know. Like, as it stands right now, I'll still be a fan of them and still hope that they win, even though they're going to lose every game. But like, this is about as tested as my fandom is ever going to be or ever could be. Don't forget to change the period. Thank you. Yeah, we did get just the third period did just start in the hockey game that's trying to wash the taste out of today out of the mouths of Seattle sports fans. Think we're good. Yeah, we're good. 3-3 to start the third for the Kraken and Leafs, while the Seahawks explode the franchise and go into as big of a tank as you'll ever see. Freaking. I feel like I'm gonna have to. I don't know. I don't know if you guys would be interested in a video rant. Like, I was thinking about, like, do I do a video rant about the Russell Wilson trade? Now it would be the Wilson trade and releasing Bobby Wagner. I don't even know. Like, I don't even know if I can muster up the energy. I'll like blow out my voice. I don't know if there's any way. I'd have to like find the audio clip of that like horn or some kind of like censor audio, because there's no way I'm not swearing like a freaking sailor if I start talking about that. I don't know. I don't know if anybody would be interested in seeing that, but definitely free to rant on Twitter, that's for sure. Seattle sports is officially terrible now. I mean, yeah, as long as the MLB is locked out, it's pretty much where we're at. And I know people will say like, "Oh, what about the Storm or maybe even the Sounders?" Although I mean, I don't know what's going on with the Sounders, but like, I'm sorry if your bastion of like our sports aren't terrible is the WNBA or MLS, then like, I mean, it's better than nothing. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. All right, well, Kraken in control of the puck here. Yarncroke out to Appleton. It's once again the Appleton Gord Blackwell line that is holding the puck in the offensive zone. Except for it's actually Yarncroke that's out there right now instead of Blackwell. I think they're rolling a change, I think, halfway through. So Schwartz is in there now. Gord's still in. He'll go for a change. So Gord going for a change. We'll see probably Wemberg come out now. Oh, and there's the puck. So, yep, there's Wemberg. Toronto's changing. Oh, Yarncroke tried to dump it to Schwartz, but I don't think Schwartz was expecting it. Kraken had a chance there to jump on the Leaf change. Oh. Campbell made a save on, I think that was that Eberle? Who was that? Campbell made a save on somebody, and then almost the rebound worked out. Oh, Johansson's actually out with Eberle right now, so maybe they mixed up lines a little bit. Johansson's out there with Eberle and McCann, so they may have switched. They may have switched a couple of guys on some of those lines there. Because Johansson was on the line with Sheehan and Donskoy, so maybe they switched. I don't know who they would have switched that for. Sounders will be fine. Okay. Sounder Leafs love blowing leads, so hopefully the comeback is completed. Supersonics. Hopefully the Supersonics come back. Yeah, I mean that's. I believe that next year can be a very different year for the Kraken, but I mean, based on how this current year is going and everything else in Seattle sports at the moment, the Sonics coming back is like what we need to save Seattle sports at the moment. Watching ESPN Plus, the broadcasters are in love with the Leafs. You might be watching the Leafs broadcast because this isn't like a nationally broadcast game, so it might be you might be watching the Leafs broadcast. I don't think there's a national broadcast game. If you're on ESPN Plus, you should be able to switch between Kraken broadcast and Toronto broadcast if you're using a VPN. Kraken a lot of pressure here early on in the third, so as far as this game is concerned, that's things are going well. Oh, Schwartz put one just wide. Oh, Kraken's still holding the zone though. Let's try and get back into this game. Sorry, I'm just like trying to like mentally wrap my mind around. Oh, it's in! It's in! Was it Lausanne who put it in? How'd that shot get through? It went through Campbell's 5-hole. I think it was Lausanne that put it in. Yeah. So Yarncroke up to Lausanne. Lausanne just fired it off. Did Schwartz get a tip? Oh, it didn't go through the 5-hole. So it went over his went under his stick hand over the pad. Did Schwartz? I don't know if Schwartz got a tip on that, but they gave it to Lausanne early on here, so indication is Lausanne's goal. And if it's Lausanne's goal, that's just straight up beat Campbell. That looks like it just went straight in. So yeah, Campbell just let that in. Yikes, he's having a bad time over the last couple of months here. Just too bad. Campbell, he seems like a really cool dude, but yeah, it's not going well for Campbell at the moment. Which isn't good for the Leafs because they're like they need goaltending to. They need their goaltending to be getting better as they get closer to the playoffs, and so far it's just getting worse and worse. Between Campbell and Mrazek, neither one of them can stop a puck to save their life right now. I'm still depressed. Kraken fighting to lose out on #1 overall. One game isn't going to make that difference. You know, I want the Kraken. Like obviously, every game I want the Kraken to win, but they can't win every game and get the first overall pick. And they're not going to lose every game the rest of the season. If there's one game that I would like them to win, it would definitely be this one, just because it's Toronto. That's just the way things are with with it being Toronto. That's just the way things are. But yeah, it looked like it was tipped. Yeah, it did look like it was tipped at first, but the second angle that they showed, it looked like it just went straight in. So I don't know. It's something that it might get changed in like official scoring later if it was tipped, but I think it's Lausanne's goal at the moment. Let's see what they have on the. Yeah, it's marked right now. Right now it's Lausanne from Yarncroke and Wenberg. So. Yeah, it's Lausanne's goal at the moment. What is that? His? Hold on, let me check. Oh, Susie's on the... Lazon's second goal of the season if it wasn't tipped, if he keeps it. So Lazon's first goal, I think they just said in 23 games, first goal for Lazon. Anyways, I'm out. Scott Chat, rip Seahawks, yeah. Thanks for stopping by, Sean. Appreciate you being here for a while. You know, life will get better. Seattle sports might not, but life will. There's always the rest of life, right? If you're a Seahawks fan, you just watched your team die today, but you know, hopefully you're not a fan of just the Seahawks. And I mean, if you're here watching along a hockey game, then I would assume you're not just a Seahawks fan. But it looks like Liljegren's going to get called for a cross check on Gord right up against the boards. Crack into the power play. Oh, it's on Blackwell. Yeah. He's going to get cross-checking. He's lucky that wasn't boarding. I mean, like, boarding it still would have been a 2-minute call. So I guess I mean, I don't know if you say lucky, but... So Blackwell draws the call. Crack into the power play with a chance to go up 5-3. Of course, the Kraken power play is nothing to be super excited about being out on the ice, but... I hope the Supersonics come back, even though I'm a Raptors fan. Well, I mean, the Sonics and Raptors wouldn't be directly competing for a whole lot, probably. So you could be a fan of both. Oh, shot! Campbell made the save there. Good shot by Eberle from up in the corner. So we got one shot on goal, saved by Campbell, but Kraken power plays their second real power play of the night, because they had a second one earlier, but it was 3 seconds long before McCann got called for tripping and went to 4-on-4. Yikes, that wasn't a very good look, but they got it around. Okay, this power play not looking that... It was a good start, but the last 30 seconds have not been amazing. Hello, everyone from Scotiabank in Toronto. That's awesome. So you're probably a good like minute and a half ahead of the stream itself. Is that what yes, it is an Alexiak jersey. I got it at the Kraken game against Nashville when they had the sale in the team store. Yeah, Jamie Alexiak. Oh, they can't get it out, then they do. God, this is not a good Kraken power play right now. Their second real power play of the game. Technically their third, but their first power play was much better than this one. The Kraken are like doing everything they can to not give up a shorthanded chance. And that'll kill off the rest of the power play. Well, that was a bad power play. Toronto is the best city in Ontario is the name. I like that. Yes, it is a Jamie Alexiak jersey. Is that my favorite player? Oh, one of them. He hasn't had a great like last. Oh no. Big save from Grubauer there on bunting. Oh. If I'm a Leaf fan, I probably want Marner to just like take that himself instead of trying to like pass it 2 feet to bunting. And that's why Matthews just put it right around Grubauer. He's so good. Matthews is second of the game, ties it. That's my favorite player. I don't know, like Gord probably is, but yeah, I mean, you give Matthews a one-on-one chance against most goaltenders, he's probably going to put it in. Well, we're tied up back at 4. Yeah, like the fans knew it was coming as soon as he had that puck on his stick in the one-on-one. Okay, so yeah, they just said that Schwartz did get a tip on that Lauzon shot, so Schwartz gets a goal there, and Lauzon will get an assist, which means Wemberg's assist probably gets taken off. So it'll be, I would imagine, then Schwartz from Lauzon and Yarncroke. But yeah, if you're in the arena, you're probably like a good minute and a half behind behind this stream right now, just because of the stream delay, and then the like, well, YouTube stream delay, and then the ESPN stream delay. So there's, and Susie's headed to the box, so Leafs will get a power play, a chance to take the lead. And the refs are very active in this game. So what is the fifth Leafs power play? Let's see, they had 1, 2, 3. Well, I guess the 4-on-4 doesn't really count. So yeah, this is their. I mean, assuming there isn't a equaling call at some point, this is the. And Marner scores right off the face-off. Well, that didn't take long. Yeah, Marner's just trying to find a. Yeah, he saw Grubauer like couldn't find where he was. He was just waiting for Grubauer to lose track of the puck and then shoot. Yeah, he was fixed on Grubauer that entire time, and then as soon as he saw Grubauer lose track of where he was, he just shot it. Golly. That was a weird face-off there at center ice. All right, 10 minutes left in the game. The Kraken can still try to make something happen here. Oh, that was the Leafs like 5th real power play, wasn't it? Yeah, it was their 5th, because the Kraken scored shorthanded on the 4th one. Well, there we go, Wimberg. Oh. Come on, Toronto. You can't just let the Kraken have one. Seattle fans need something today. Five-hole again. Yeah, that was... I mean, look. I don't know. Come on, Appleton. Come on, Appleton. Tavares is not a fast man. Oh. That had the feeling of like that was like a Kraken season in one play right there. Just like a failed pass attempt, then Gio shatters his stick on the blue line, leading to a Tavares breakaway. Fortunately, Tavares looked gassed, and also he's not the fastest player ever. So, but then he passes it. That just had the feeling of like that was going to end up in the net as well. Fortunately, it doesn't. But Grew was screened by 2 people. Wasn't on him. Yeah, I mean it. That was just Marner. Marner was patient with it and didn't have anyone going after him, so he's able to pick his spot, take his shot, and yeah, Grubauer didn't see it. You could see Marner was just kind of drifting with it, waiting for Grubauer to lose track, and as soon as Grubauer couldn't find where Marner was, or like lost track of it a little bit, that's Marner took the shot. And you take a shot through traffic when the goaltender doesn't know the shot's coming, it's got a pretty good chance of going in, especially off of a player like Marner. So ultimately that's just the Kraken keep losing these important face-offs in their defensive zone. Just remember, everyone, we're here for the death of Seattle sports. Yeah, basically. Certainly the death of the Seahawks. Of course, Seattle gets a hockey team, and midway through their season, the football team is no more. Essentially, I mean, like they still technically exist, but they exist on technicality only. They'll show up to 17 games next year, and they'll probably lose all of them, but if they have like he's out here doing no pads, trying to block pucks with no pads. That's bold. Well, Marner was looking for a tip on that one. I feel like he should have just tried to go to bunting, but come on. Ah, yeah. I mean, Campbell saw that coming all the way. It's all right. Get a face off. Maybe the Kraken can win a face off in the other zone. That'd be nice. Oh, the Leafs are the number one power play. I didn't realize that. Maybe they just took that in this game. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, look, you give a team that has players like Matthews and Marner 5 power plays. Well, 6, but one of them was 4-on-4. But 5 power plays, yeah, they're gonna make you pay, and they have what 3 times now tonight. Once again, special teams the difference in the game. Even though the Kraken did get a shorthanded goal, so it's 3-1, 3-1 on special teams, and 3-2 5-on-5. Kraken winning 5-on-5 still 3-2. I've just seen Seahawks released Wagner. Yep, traded Russell Wilson, and then so they, I mean, they at least like I never thought I would be saying this, especially today after the Wilson trade, but at least they got something for Russell Wilson. They'll probably screw it up because it's mostly draft picks, but at least they got something. Wagner, Hall of Fame linebacker, one of the best linebackers to ever play. They just straight up released. They couldn't even get anything for him. They even, as far as I know, they didn't even try. Like, it's embarrassing, is what it is. Like, I don't know. And of course, the up and coming team can't even play thanks to the lockout. Yeah, yeah. The Mariners are like they finally have this great farm system, and the like some of the players are starting to come up. They're ready to buy. They get the reigning AL Cy Young pitcher in free agency, and then lockout. So like we don't know even if or how many games of an MLB season we're gonna get. Supposedly today was like another deadline. The MLB keeps like hanging canceled games over the head of the MLB Players Association. And they said they were going to cancel games, but now it sounds like they've gone back on canceling games to renegotiate again. So who knows? The owners are just a bunch of greedy pigs, and it's going to cost the Mariners and Seattle fans. And I mean, ultimately, it's going to cost the entire game of baseball. Like, baseball's in trouble now, just in general. But we're mourning the Seahawks while watching the Kraken. Yes, we are. Rest in peace, Seahawks. 19. Oh, come on. Was it 1976 to 2021, 2022, I guess? I guess the bright side is if you haven't been able to afford a Wilson or Wagner jersey, they'll probably be on sale now. The Kraken just can't get anything going. 6 minutes left. Grubauer makes the save. Come on, Kraken. Make this interesting late, right? Overtime would be fun. How about some overtime? I mean, against Matthews and Marner, they probably win in overtime, but... And by they, I mean the Leafs. Would a super chat make me feel better? I mean, it wouldn't make me feel worse, but I'm not going to ask for it. I feel like the Seahawks owe me money, honestly. Need John Schneider to come in here and, like, give me a contract or something. They're going to need to start hiring fans to come to games because, like, no one's going to want to come to games after this. That's not actually true. Like, Seattle fans will show up, but, like, if this is the type of thing where, like, you know, if it's, like, 5 years down the road and, like, Russell and Wagner's contracts are up or whatever, and they go in free agency at the end of their primes, like, maybe they go to other places for, like, 1 or 2 more years or whatever. That's one thing, but this really feels like the franchise is just like slapping the fans across the face. Like, yeah, it really feels like a slap in the face to the fans, and that's why like, even though Seattle fans are incredibly loyal and will show up, I mean, the Kingdom was packed even in the 90s when the Seahawks were terrible then. So, yeah, this John Schneider owes us all money. Yeah, exactly. Like, they're going to start having to pay fans to show up to games if they want that stadium to be packed, because Seabirds art. Appreciate the super chat. KJ $5. Seahawks rip, I think is what we're communicating there. Yep, it's regardless of the outcome of this game, it's a depressing day to be a Seattle sports fan, to say the very, very least. A Hall of Fame finish tonight. Oh, they're because they were at the Hockey Hall of Fame. Like, let's not talk about Hall of Fame when the Seahawks are getting rid of anything close to the Hall of Fame they can. Oh, good save, Grubauer. Very good thing Matthews didn't get all of that shot, because that probably Grubauer. That's what bought Grubauer the time to get his pad to the ice. That was probably in if Grubauer, if that shot got off clean. Kraken in Ottawa Thursday. First meeting against the Senators. It's the only team the Kraken haven't played yet. Oh, he made the save? Oh, Grubauer. Ooh, he's kept a couple out. Kept a couple out that had no business staying out of the net. Keep your head up, Scott. Hey, you know what? Like, got a lot else going for me in life outside of just being a sports fan, but sports are definitely a passion, and this is like someone taking your passion and just rubbing a steaming dump all over it. At least one of them. Fortunately, like, the nice thing about being a sports fan in general and not just like just football is now that the Seahawks are dead and buried, I at least can like enjoy the Kraken. And I mean, who knows, the MLB might be just killing itself, so we might not have the Mariners anymore either, but I don't know, we'll figure something out. Like, there's like during COVID there was the marble racing channel, was it like Jelly's Marble Runs or something like that. So there's always marble racing to fall back on as well, you know. Matthews has now scored against every NHL team, not the Leafs. He hasn't scored against the Leafs as far. I mean, he's probably caused some goals to happen against the Leafs. He's played enough games for them, but I don't think he's actually put one in. And he certainly hasn't gotten credit for putting one in. But I know what you mean. I'm just being difficult. What's going on here? Lozon probably laid a hit and someone... Oh, I'm bunting. Is Lozon going to get a penalty here? Yeah, that's got to... They got to get a roughing call on Lozon probably. Oh, they're going to get both of them for roughing. Yeah, and curling. I don't know how... Like, how do you watch... See, that's the thing about, like, the marble runs, is at least that's on YouTube. I can watch it for free easily, but I don't know how to watch curling. Other than with the Olympics. Like, curling's great fun to watch in the Olympics. But that's over. That's over, and there's kind of like a feeling... Like, I still watch some Olympics, but there's a bit of a feeling of, like, the less Olympics I watch, the less ratings the Chinese Olympics get. So there's a little bit of that, too, but... I still watch a good amount of Olympics. Especially because it's the Winter Olympics, which, like, I don't know that I'll get too much pushback on that from hockey fans in here, but the Winter Olympics are just better than the Summer Olympics. Let's just be honest. Like, there's good parts of the Summer Olympics, and there's bad parts about the Winter Olympics. Like, I'm no figure skating fan and how much that gets spammed, but the Winter Olympics in general are better. Although they would have been better with NHL players in the hockey, but oh well. World Cup starts in November. I mean, the Kraken will be playing again in October, so I probably won't be paying that much attention to it, to be honest. What I need is the Mariner. What I need is the MLB owners to get their heads out of their butts and let an MLB season happen so I can watch the Mariners. That's what I really need to happen. And I'll watch a Seahawks game here and there, but I've like gone out of my way to make time to watch as many Seahawks games as possible in the Russell Wilson era, but now that it's over, I don't know. I don't know that I'm going to care. I'm certainly not going to care as much to watch them on TV certainly not every week. Like, wait, you're going to want me to tune in to watch Drew Lock throw 4 interceptions a game? Yeah, no thanks. Watch a defense that just released their best player. Yeah, nope. Released their best player after a few years of not being that good anyway. So 4-on-4 here for another minute. 2:45 left in the game. I wonder if the Kraken... Oh, Blackwell. Oh, he tried to like put it on net off of someone. He caught Campbell off guard, but it wasn't a hard enough shot to get in. Campbell was able to react to it. Oh, Grubauer's on the bench. I was wondering about that. I was like, I wonder if they'll put Grubauer out there to go 5-on-4, basically get a power play with an empty net. Icing, so they'll get another face-off in the other zone. So this is basically a power play, but with an empty net. So it's we know how the Kraken do with power plays. I mean, like theoretically, 5-on-4 is better than 6-on-5 with an empty net. But like, we're Kraken fans are so used to watching this Kraken power play struggle to not give up shorthanded goals with a goalie. Doing it without a goalie seems all right. So Leafs win the face off. All right, out to cross to Eberle. Come on, Eberle, keep it at least in the zone. Couldn't handle it clean. Hall pinched in. Eberle around to Schwartz. Around back. Uh-oh. Wide of the net for icing. 34 seconds, 2:14 left in the game, and we'll get a face-off in the Toronto end. Kraken still keeping the net empty, trying to get that equalizing 5th goal. Well, we got the Kraken comeback from 3-1. Kraken have done better than what I was thinking the score might be, so no icing off the scroll down off the face off. Kraken almost put it into their own net. Caps did that this season. The Caps put it into their own empty net. That was kind of funny. That was extra bad too because it was on a delayed call. So it was like one where it wasn't even just like it was an empty net and like the other team could deflect it in. It was literally if the other team touches it, there will be a whistle, and the Caps still put it into their own net. All right, back to 5-on-5 for another minute. So, well, I say 5-on-5. It's really 6-on-5 with empty net. Gord out with it. Up to Wemberg. Wemberg out to Yarncroke. Yarncroke. Put it around back. Out to Gord. Gord's up. Oh, out of the zone. Gio couldn't keep it in. Oh, Gord fanned on it. No, 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 no. Don't let Matthews get to it. Oh, Gio made the save. Oh, Gio kept Matthews from getting the hat trick. 44 seconds. Matthews puts that in. There is the hat trick. Matthews finishes off the Hattie. Well, that's annoying. Later, Hunter. Thanks for joining. Yep, this Kraken completed the comeback, and the Leafs have scored 3 straight since then. F in the chat. F in the chat for the Kraken. R.I.P. in the chat for the Seahawks. Does pulling the goalie ever work? Yes, but usually for... I'll say this. It works better for teams that are better at scoring goals than the Kraken are. I'm actually not sure if pulling the goalie has worked for the Kraken yet this season. I think it has once earlier on. I think. Yeah, it did, because like the Kraken... Yeah, they tied it up. Oh, I can't remember who they were playing. Who was that? It was early in the season. They tied it up, and then... Was it the Rangers? They tied it up, and then... Yeah, it was the Rangers. They tied it up, and then immediately, like... A minute later, they gave up a goal back the other way to win the game for the Rangers. Get violent. I feel like they should just start attacking star players. I don't, like... There's no point. Like, I don't know. They don't have a rivalry with the Leafs. They're not in their division. There's not... 21 seconds. Can the Kraken score 2 goals? 12 seconds. A goal every 5 seconds. A goal every second. Well, the Kraken lose for the 3rd time on the road trip. 3 straight losses. They came back from down 3-1 to get the 4-3 lead, and then gave up 3 straight, including an empty net. Grubauer had a bit of a up and down night, I would say. Gave up a couple of somewhat soft goals, but also had some pretty big saves. I mean, 3 of the Leafs' goals come on the power play, so they get 3 goals on the power play, 1 shorthand or 1 empty net. So the Leafs only score 2 5-on-5. The Kraken get 1 shorthanded and 3 5-on-5. So the Kraken actually win 3-2 5-on-5. Unfortunately, they just give the Leafs way too many power plays. Golden Knights and Kraken lost. So that's 3 games on the road trip and 3 games the Kraken have lost because of special teams. That's kind of it's kind of the season in a nutshell. So they tied the Capitals 2-2 at 5-on-5, gave up an empty net and 2 power play goals, and didn't get any power play goals themselves. And then against the Hurricanes, they were tied 1-1, got a power play goal themselves, but gave up 2 power play goals to the Canes to lose that one 3-2. And then tonight they actually beat the Leafs 5-on-5 3-2, but even though they get a shorthanded goal, they give up 3 on the power play and then 1 empty netter to lose 6-4. So special teams continue to be the issue, especially on this road trip, but really this entire season for the Kraken. Special teams have been just a massive problem. Weirdly enough, for the Seahawks, special teams might be the one place they're okay, since they haven't traded or released a star special teams player. Not that it matters, because they're not going to win any more games for the rest of a very long time. But really miss Tanev. Yeah, Tanev. Certainly the energy that Tanev brought, I think, has been missed ever since he left. The Kraken have just never found that energy that Tanev brought. They had... wasn't Austin Czarnik. They tried to replace with Czarnik, but who was it that they brought in? Oh, Carson Kuhlman. Carson Kuhlman, I felt like certainly not anywhere near the level that Tanev had, but he brought a little bit of that, and then he's been injured since like a week into his time with the Kraken. Then the Kraken brought in Austin Czarnik to try to fill the Kuhlman spot. He got hurt as well, and then as soon as he got healthy, which was just recently, was right after McCann and Schwartz got healthy, so they had to put him on waivers, and he got claimed by... I can't remember who he got claimed by, but he got claimed off waivers, so Czarnik's no longer with the Kraken. Yep. Matthews is literally the only reason Seattle loses this. I mean, he had 3 goals and the Kraken lost by 2, so you can certainly look at it that way. I would say the Kraken giving the Leafs 6 power plays is probably the bigger reason. I mean, well... Yeah. Yeah, I think it was like five power plays, but then there's the one that's the 4-on-4 with 3 seconds overlapping on either side, or 3 seconds of power play for each team on either side of it. So technically speaking, I think it's 6 power plays, but really it's 5 power plays the Leafs have, and they scored on 3 of them. So I mean, if your penalty kill is going to give up 3 goals on 5 power plays, then you're probably not going to win the game. Ultimately, that's what it comes down to. Yeah, I mean, the Kraken showed fight again 5-on-5, but they just... I mean, let's see if I can look at the... So, yeah. Just like there. Yeah, I mean, I was like ready to say, like, if the Kraken win this game, it's like using mouthwash to wash dog crap out of your mouth, which is what the day has been so far. But then the Kraken don't even lose the game, so yeah, I don't know. No good, very bad, no fun day for Seattle sports. Where's Davey J? In Seattle. He doesn't travel with the team, as far as I know, anyway. Yeah, they haven't talked about Davy Jones quite as much. He does, if you go to the arena, he definitely shows up. They put him up. If he's at the game, he'll show up. And they bring other dogs from the same shelter, I think, that Davy Jones came from. They'll bring to the arena to, like, give awareness to shelter animals and all that. But yeah, He's like it's still just a team dog, right? He's not the mascot or anything. I know there's some people that have been confused about whether or not Davy Jones is the mascot of the Kraken. He's not the mascot, just the team dog. The mascot's still yet to come. There were rumors it was going to be early this season, and then they pushed it back to. There were some rumors that it might be mid to late March. But honestly, I kind of wouldn't be surprised if it's like start of next season. Um, we'll see. It's kind of tricky with the mascot because of COVID, I think, is part of what it is. I think they've kind of just been waiting for COVID to die down. Because, like, I mean, ultimately, even if he has, like, a big... He can have a mask on under, but he has the big, like, you know, head thing for the mascot. It's still a person running around hugging everybody and doing the mask. I feel like the mascot thing is just trickier with COVID, so they might just be waiting until they don't have to worry as much about COVID restrictions to announce a mascot and have him run around the arena and do his mascot things and pose for a bunch of pictures and whatever. Leafs always get lucky. I mean, I don't know that I would say the Leafs always get lucky. They're like 55 years without a Stanley Cup and like 18 years without a playoff round win, so I think you'd have a hard time finding Leaf fans that can sympathize with Leafs are lucky. I mean, like, ultimately the Leafs they're better. They were always going to be a better team than the Kraken this year. Like, all three of these last three teams the Kraken played, the Capitals, the Hurricanes, and the Leafs, these are all three teams that the Kraken could have gone full win now mode in the expansion draft and all that. They still wouldn't have been roster-wise as good a team as any of those three teams. So, I mean, really they just lost to a better team. It's frustrating that they're losing to these better teams because of the same reason every game, and that's special teams. I'm sorry that your team lost. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's not anything as far as the Kraken are concerned, it's not anything we're not used to. We're going to have to get used to it with the Seahawks now, because a Seahawks win is going to be a rare thing for the next few years. Davy Jones should be the mascot. I feel like there's a difference between I don't know if there's any mascots in pro sports that are like animals. There's like kind of like a secondary mascot, like the Seahawks have the Seahawk, the osprey that flies around at games. Like Denver has their white horse that runs around. Of course, those are the first two teams that pop to mind for whatever reason. Yeah, I know there's like other teams that I don't know if there's as many in hockey that have like an actual animal mascot. There's a lot of teams that have team dogs in hockey. I know the Blues have a team dog. The Lightning, I'm pretty sure, have a team dog. I've a lot of teams I think have team dogs. So well, it was fun for a while. It was a fun second period to go down, down 2 goals partway through the second period, and then the Kraken come roaring back to take the 4-3 lead, and they just couldn't hold on to it. Well, they actually they tie it in the second, and then they take the 4-3 lead in the third, but then they give up 3 unanswered goals to end the third and end up losing the game. Blue Frost, yeah, fights are sometimes energized guys. Yeah, that's like Tanev and Gord, especially like when Tanev was there, it seemed like both Tanev and Gord were constantly causing, even if it wasn't fights, they were constantly like mixing it up. The Kraken definitely seemed like a much chippier, like they're a much chippier, more annoying team to play when Tanev was bringing that energy. And ever since Tanev's been out, that kind of, even if the Kraken were going to lose, they were really going to make it a pain in the butt for the opposing team. And that just hasn't been the case at all since Tanev left. There's some chippiness every now and then, but it doesn't have that feeling of whenever there's a play by the net, there's going to be pushing and shoving. It didn't have that feeling of like the Kraken kind of had this feeling of like they were almost the rival of every team they played for a while. And then when Tanev went out, that just it's never come back. Anyway, I don't know. I'm gonna eat some dinner here and then eventually muster up the courage, well, not courage, but muster up the energy to record an R&R for this Leafs game that, like, I mean, it's frustrating the Kraken lose to the Leafs, but honestly, it's just like, it's like being punched when you're already unconscious kind of thing. Like, it's the Kraken losing, like, doesn't even register on today's just like terrible news. So I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, Sleepy Ghost, appreciate you stopping in, Sleepy Ghost. Love you as well. Love everybody that's stopped in for the chat. Thank you all for joining in for this game. It may not have been the most fun for the Kraken, but you know, long term speaking, both teams got what was best for them out of this game. The Kraken, obviously, none of the players and none of the fans are happy. Well, I shouldn't say none. There's some fans that are at the point of, okay, just lose. But most of the fans and none of the players are happy with losing any game. But it is, technically speaking, at this point, better for the Kraken future to just lose games and get that first overall pick. As for the Leafs, obviously, they're still, you know, even though they're playing very, very well, they're in the same division as Tampa Bay and Florida. So they have a bit of an uphill battle, but yeah, tough day for all sorts of other reasons. Well, two specific other reasons, both having to do with the worst general. I'm just gonna say it, worst general manager in football today. Certainly, like, John Schneider is an absolute punk. I'm glad he's never won General Manager of the Year. He doesn't deserve it. Just absolutely, like, ripped apart the team and, like, the heart of Seattle. Like, even if you're not into football, the Seahawks have been the heart of Seattle sports for 20 years, and John Schneider just ripped that away. So at this point, right now, I don't even care that he put the team together that brought the Seahawks their first Super Bowl. Like, I don't know. Tough night. An overall fun Kraken game, all else aside. And the Kraken do sign Jared McCann earlier today to a 5x5, $5 million per year for 5 years, roughly. Roughly $5 million per year for 5 years. So the good news is that even though the Seahawks are getting rid of any player that is actually NHL or NFL worthy, even though the Seahawks are getting rid of any player that's NFL worthy off of their roster, any way they possibly can, the Kraken are at least signing their best player for 5 more years. So the Kraken, even if the current Kraken is not amazing, the Kraken at least have a future where the Seahawks don't. So, and then there's the Mariners who, you know, MLB owners are once again greedy pigs, as I've said a number of times, and trying to take baseball away from everybody. So anyway, tough, frustrating night for sports, especially Seattle sports. But at this point, I'm just kind of rambling. Bit hungry, ready to eat some dinner. So again, thank you all very much for... Oh, knocked my phone up there a little bit. Anyway, thank you all very much for joining for this stream. Tried to do a little bit better about it, giving a little more notice. I think I decided a little bit earlier on. So we're getting better about doing these streams with a little bit more notice. But we'll be back at some point. Kind of sticking with mostly road games. I don't know if you picked up on that, but I'm at this point going to most of the home games, so we're sticking with mostly road games. But we'll be back with probably another stream in March and a couple in April, and yeah, we'll just have to accept the future. There's no real optimistic outlook for the Seahawks. There's at least something to look forward to with the Kraken. Maybe not this year, but going into the future. And you know what? It's still the first season, and we have the NHL in Seattle. We might not really have the NFL anymore, but we have the NHL in Seattle, and at least that's fun. So we'll keep enjoying that. And yeah, I don't know. Again, I'll just try to close it out. So again, thank you all very much for joining for this stream. Yeah, we'll see you in the next one, and I'll see you in the R&R. May or may not do some kind of rant. I don't know. We'll see what kind of energy I'm feeling about doing a video about the whole debacle of destroying the Seahawks. But Anyway, yeah, thank you all for joining. Stay safe out there. Be good to each other. And, of course, as always, go Kraken. Then we'll try to not knock over glasses and hit end stream. All right. Thank you.